Hello, adventurers, and welcome to Grognard and Friends' special pre-Labor Day Forest Grove barbecue episode, where friends gather to explore the world of the Aria and play Dungeons and Dragons. And speaking of the friends, let's check out this week's episode of Grognard and Friends. And welcome back. This week we're going to try a little something different. Instead of myself doing the summary of last week's episode, we're going to allow one of the friends to do it.
That'll be me. Yes, I will be giving you the summation of last week's adventure. So what happened last time is we all got dressed up real fancy. Some of us way more than others. Butt Trumpet was definitely dressed to the 12s, while the rest of us might have gotten to a 7. And then we went to the party, which was awkward, to say the least. All the townspeople were there for their mandatory fun time, and you could tell because they weren't having a good time, which inspired Gaius to break out moves of dance here for unknown to this part of the aria. And while that was happening, a bunch of other crap happened, like Nikita almost dying to Muffin, Butt Trumpet having awkward conversations. Actually, you know what? Everybody having awkward conversations except for Gaius, because he was the only one not talking. And then, to hit a highlight, there was a bit of a fisticuffs outside, which was used as a distraction for two bagged men to come in and beat the crap out of Silas Marner, who then was healed by our heroic cleric.
And incredibly modest.
And humble. So humble. He's like a pie full of humble. Aside from that, a couple interesting tidbits were collected by the gang. Apparently, Mr. Goodry, the maker of apparently very fine punch, has gone missing. And then also, apparently, things that have been stolen were family heirlooms missing from around town, which is interesting. Also, Silas Marner's potential business partner and his daughter, who Butt Trumpet is wearing her clothes, which I'm also curious who lets their daughter dress like that, went missing just from town, and nobody kind of batted an eye at that. And also, apparently there are some very powerful old families in town that may or may not be cursed. So those are the highlights that you may or may not have missed, or if you were involved and you remembered all that, I've wasted my time. But now, on to Grognard and Friends, unless somebody else is
Yes. Also, Sonny, we overheard Sunny Day and his crew of hooligans planning to make another move, potentially at the Dodge or something.
There you go. That's another thing. That's another. My character wasn't there, so I definitely wasn't paying attention.
Talia and I overheard that.
Okay, that's awesome. Good job there, Gaius. And Reed. So, when last we left the friends, the little outbreak of a fight had begun to settle down. Nikita stepped out onto the patio to see if she could catch some time with the mayor. Reed was at the table. Gaius, where were you? You were headed somewhere.
Well, the fight brought me there, and then Butt Trumpet calling me back brought me to Marner to heal him up.
Right, and then you said you were going to go...
Oh, I think I wanted to get the group together to basically kind of get everybody on the same page.
Okay, so you were going to go start rounding everyone up?
That was my initial plan was to wrangle everybody to see what they've gathered at so far, because my plan of lulling everybody into a good time was less useful than I thought it would be.
But it was incredibly successful until there was,
Until there was a fight.
Like all good
Always
parties.
things. Like all good parties. But did somebody bring up politics? Because that'll just kill the vibe. Or religion.
Yeah, but look in the
Except for
mirror
mine.
there, guys.
Mine's cool. No, mine's fine. It's a party religion. Do you want to party more? Check yes.
Gaius here is going, yeah, religions always cause trouble, unless, of course, it's mine.
Hey, proven fact, there has not been one genocide by the Bakken religion ever. Ever.
That we
Now,
know of.
granted, we
That-
have been,
That we know.
we have been
History
we
is
have
told
been
by the victors,
hunted-
after all.
We have been hunted by animals by other religions. It's neither here nor there.
So, Talia, where are you?
I believe I hadn't gone anywhere in terms of where the party convened around Silas after while Gaius was healing him and stuff.
Okay. So you didn't follow Reed over to the tables or anything like that?
Oh, might have actually. I don't remember where we left off.
Where would you like to be?
I think I would like to be circling the floor, looking for any signs of like the guys who had faked the fight and anyone that might be conversing with or near them, just to keep an eye out for that.
Okay.
That's right. You were looking for the bloodied hands.
I was looking for any kind of like
Okay, that's right. You
any
were looking
signs
for
of
anyone
that,
who
yeah.
looked like they
just roughed up someone.
right. And what you're finding is there are a lot of farm hands here who have really rough looking hands to begin with, but you're not seeing any blood.
Yeah, no like swelling or
Right. Well,
slash
with some of them, it's tough to tell if there's any swelling because a lot of them have like big sausage fingered hands as it is.
arthritis.
I've got arthritis. And a field of beans to plow. And Butt Trumpet stayed with Silas and Richie. A lot of the people who had come in from the patio started making it over to the tables, and were beginning to eat. Some were sticking food in their pockets. Nikita, give me a perception check, please.
I went to where the food was, right?
Right.
Reed is among those putting food in his pockets.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Nikita, you see after the mayor feels like he's gotten the vast majority of the people to move back into the party, and he starts walking into the main part of the party, kind of trying to corral everyone who might still be out onto the patio in there.
Is my cake radar going off? Are they bringing out a cake?
There is a table
for
of
cake
baked
art?
goods, there is a cake there already, and
Take some of that.
and there's some shortbread, there's some cookies, there's a number of different things, some interesting looking puddings and Jello molds, we'll say, and it's about this time that the mayor comes in and says, Everyone, your attention, please." And you see with him the wizard Carlisle. And with Mr. Carlisle is his boy. And Nikita, give me another perception check with advantage since you're kind of right there. Okay. Bravo. This is the first time you've gotten a good look at the wizard's assistant up close, and especially his face. You notice like 3 or 4 large scratches like adorning his face in a number of angles. So the mayor continues and says, "We've called you all here today to welcome some visitors who are here to help us with some things that we're trying to discover. They've come all the way from Seven Rivers on at behest of the Baron to help us here in Forest Grove. And he says, please, please, come forward. Come forward.
To
You
the
know who you
group?
are. Yeah, to you guys.
Okay.
And Butt Trumpet, Richie turns to you and says, it's about this time, Richie turns to you and says, I think he's really had enough. Maybe we should take him home. What do you think?
I think that's a great idea. I don't think
Okay.
it's safe for him to be here.
Okay, you want to give me a hand? Or do you want to
Sure.
stay? I don't want to interrupt your evening.
I'd like to try and get Nikita's attention by either catching her eye or what have you to gesture and kind of mouth, I'm going to help get him home.
Okay. Nikita, give me a perception check, please.
Y'all are really putting me to the test here.
Okay.
Woo!
You see Butt Trumpet kind of go and mouth something that looks like, I'm going to help. He gives you the thumbs up.
Yeah, they
And I
won't
will
even
go
notice that I'm
stand-
gone.
We will. In our
Yeah.
hearts.
So, okay, so go ahead, Nikita.
I was just going to say I would like to try to stand beside the poor assistant whose name I've forgotten, and just
boy.
kind of, how's the cat chasing?
He looks at you and goes, I've learned a lot about myself in the past 12 hours.
I can imagine, and I am very sorry.
The number one thing is, I don't like cats, I've discovered. And even
This is
more
not
so, it seems they don't like me. And you, as you're there talking to him and looking at him, you realize the same sorts of scratches are all over his hands and his arms as well.
Oh no!
So he says, he says, yeah, didn't go as well as I thought.
It never does with the little fur balls. If you need any assistance cleaning those up and disinfecting, I recommend talking to Gaius.
I will check that out because, yeah, I got them all over these things. I thought I had the little sucker, but he had other ideas.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a stupid idea to bring a wizard's apprentice to a knife fight. Anyway, so the mayor do all of you come up to the front of the stage? To the front of the
Except Butt
Yes.
room?
Trumpet.
Except for
Except
Butt
me.
Trumpet? Except for Butt Trumpet?
Yes, I am
Yeah.
desperately trying to swallow all of the food in my mouth, but I am just stuffed,
Okay.
running out there.
You see Reed come up with chipmunk cheeks and kind of a glaze of frosting around his mouth.
Mm.
And he's like just like nothing's the matter, just and so you come to the front and the mayor says, these fine young people have come all the way from Seven Rivers to help us find poor Silas's daughter Veronica, who we all knew and loved. You
Insider
do-
perception or
Go ahead. Go ahead.
which one?
Insight
Perception.
would be this one. To see if he's telling the truth.
Oh, who are you inciting?
No, I guess honestly, I was thinking perception to see if anyone kind of gives a little right type of thing.
Right.
Then,
But if
yeah,
someone
that's
else
perception.
do insight.
Yeah, I wanted to.
I'll do-
I wanted
you know
to
what?
check
Yeah,
the
I'll do-
crowd, too.
I'll insight. I got the mayor, I guess, to make sure
Okay.
he's on the up and up.
I am never going to roll.
Nikita,
a
you got
20.
high roller tonight.
Hey, don't jinx yourself there, Nikita.
Don't worry. When a combat comes, it'll go downhill.
Okay.
22 on the insight. Is the mayor being truthful?
Okay. Do it with disadvantage for the mayor, and I'll tell you why in a second.
Okay.
But Nikita, while he's doing that, you definitely catch a number of eye rolls, and you do catch a few, like, yeah, rights, and it's.
Do I
Go ahead.
recommend?
No, you were saying something.
No, you go ahead.
Stop it.
You
No.
go. No, you stop it.
Do I recognize anyone?
I'll pull the
rolling
stream
their eyes?
over.
I'll mute myself.
Nikita, not Chris.
Yes.
What were you saying? Finally.
You can still hear me though.
Oh, it's like an evil voice from the dark. You can still hear me though. No, do I recognize anyone who is rolling their eyes or looking less than impressed,
98% of the
in
time.
love with Veronica?
I would say probably 70% are less than. You're getting a lot of. You're getting a number of like, yeah, right, kind of eye rolling sort of moments, and you're getting an awful lot of like, no face, no nothing at all, just kind of like the emoji of the eyes looking straight ahead with the straight line mouth.
Not a wet
Gotcha.
eye in the house.
Exactly.
No.
Mm.
Exactly.
This poor girl.
So,
Guy-
so Paul, with disadvantage, it was a 16.
The disadvantage was because this guy's a politician through and through.
Schmoozer.
Yeah, and so he's got the rhetoric
beats
down.
right.
And the insight, what the insight tells you is you have no idea if he believes it or not. It flows off his tongue so easily. And the way it's going, you do maybe get the feeling that it's his feelings are maybe the opposite of that because it's so over the top the way he delivers it with that politician flair and grease. You know what I mean?
Extra greasy.
So he says,
He's playing the game. That's what he's
exactly.
doing.
And it's about this time that you see a number come out, all with trays filled with little cups, and the mayor says the people will be handing out special punches for us to raise a toast to these fine folks who've come all this way to help us out. So please, everyone, take one. And we will raise our glasses in a toast. And also afterwards, they will continue talking to all of you. So please be as forthcoming as you can with them, and be kind. Show them the Forest Grove courtesy and kindness that we're so well known for. And it's about this time that.
At this
The
point,
old Forest
Nikita's
Grove
looking at-
punch in the nose. Say hello.
Yeah. Nikita makes eye
Threaten their
contact with
lives.
the human cat scratch post, and is just like, really? Really?
He stares straight ahead and just kind of nothing.
Am I next to Gaius?
If you
Am I
want to
right
be.
next to Gaius there? I just kind of and kind of low, so not everybody hears. I just kind of say to Gaius, so
He's on the side for me.
we're gonna drink this punch, right?
Do you think they're going to poison everybody?
I don't know. There was just a fake
I have a
fight.
thing for that. I have a thing
There's
for
kind of
that.
weird stuff going on here.
Yeah, but I have
You
a
gotta
thing
think
for,
for
that.
what? What does that mean?
Poison. I can fix it.
Oh,
Or protect against it.
okay.
Hold on. He breaks out a book real quick.
Eldred on the other side of you says, or make it taste like grape knee-high.
Hey, don't hate. Don't hate it. You have to rely on me to not be poisoned.
Read
Believe me,
there.
I specifically prepare. Anytime you go to a party, you will always prepare protection, or at least detect poison, which I definitely did.
Nikita
also say
will
to go-
have pretended to take a drink, but won't act. Will just keep eyeing the room to see if anyone is actually drinking or doing what she is doing, and just kind of
Okay.
going, yeah, really good.
The glasses are actually really nice punch glasses that are significantly bigger than what everyone else is getting. And the mayor takes one, and Mr. Carlisle takes one, his assistant takes one. You see on the other side of the mayor is Mr. Reese, his estate manager that you've met. And he says, so everyone has a glass. Good.
Yes. Will all my friends get within a 5-foot diameter of me? Because I want to give a cheers to Bacchus, that this will give us great wonders and it will help us in this adventure and find out who we need.
Give me either a performance check or a persuasion check. Your choice there, Gaius.
So Paul, I have a question.
And I'll even
have-
give you advantage. What's your
Persuasion,
question?
Never mind Eagle Splendor.
No, you don't need. I was going to say I had a bunch of stuff triggered that I was wondering if an hour had passed from when I activated all my dance party nonsense. I'll take the advantage on the persuasion though.
Okay.
That way we don't have to worry about it. It's 23. So yeah, we'll go with the 23.
All of a sudden, all of you in the front of the room find yourself crowded by like masses of the people just kind of coming up, and
Yes.
everyone's trying to get real close, like.
And with that prayer, that is the verbal and the clinking of the glasses is the somatic components for the spell Purify Food and Drink.
Okay.
So if there was poison, it's not.
Okay.
Reed,
So the
Reed
mayor-
is in the
people
mask.
further
Reed
away.
is in the mask with just his arm up. All you can see is his arm sticking out of the people.
Oh yeah, no. Guys specifically make sure he clinks with all of his party members
Okay.
and Talia. He make sure, and also like the mayor and like other people of potential value.
Talia's
that
definitely
he
not on the
doesn't-
stage.
Okay.
Oh, guys looks at he's like,
You can get her.
Nikita, you, because you've been keeping your ears and eyes open, it's just all these people, like, and most of them are a lot taller than you. You, in the crowd, you hear someone say, why did we all come up here again? I don't know, but it just seems like the right
a
place to
blessing
be.
from Bacchus.
And you hear the mayor say, excuse me, and he goes and stands up on a chair and then stands up on a table, and you see a bunch of guards like go and kind of come to his side and kind of just looking like they're ready to catch him because the mayor's a halfling. So he goes, everybody raise your glass to these fine people from Seven Rivers who came on behest of the Baron to help us here in Forest Grove, the kindly little village in the woods. That is obviously a lot more important than we've previously realized. So
And
let's
the
give
gunshot
our
rings
best
out.
and our love and everything to these fine people from Seven Rivers. Hear, hear. And people are like, people raise up their glass, and you hear a few people like, yeah, hear, hear. Yeah. Some people
Clink your
just
glasses
start
or you're gonna
downing
win.
the stuff.
Clean your glasses, you might die. Whatever. I did my best.
There you go.
I take a big
Can't
swig
cure that
and then
many
I look at
poisons.
Nikita. They really like us.
Maybe.
No.
I wouldn't bet on that.
I mean, there are
Reed,
at
Gaius,
least
and Nikita,
parties.
make me a saving throw, please.
Oh, jeez.
What flavor of saving throw?
The fake
Just
kind.
kind
There is no saving throw.
Ah, jeez.
Aha. Aha, because I defeated your drink trap.
That's right. This whole thing was actually a clever ruse to
Clever
reenact
ruse.
Jonestown.
I mean,
This
we
was
did
the
get special
Kool-Aid.
glasses.
What?
Mhm. We did
Yeah,
get
and
special
there was a
Guess
glasses.
of
comment.
honor.
There was
Yeah.
a comment at the beginning of the. I see your plans.
There you go.
You're all going to the spaceship.
Right.
Oh god.
I know way too much about that.
Everyone needs to get their Nike sneakers and their purple shrouds and get in their bunk beds.
At least the mayor wasn't named Marshall.
There you go. Okay,
Some deep
so
cuts for you kids about the Jonestown incident. Google it later, not now.
Or Marshall Applewhite was that wasn't the Jonestown.
Stop.
No,
Stop. Nope. Stop.
Jim Jones was Jonestown.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be like
ED, please.
it's like when he eventually starts Gaiusville.
Oh boy.
I'm not a cult leader yet.
Yeah.
Technically, the Balkans were considered a cult in Roman times.
Eldred says
Already
the key
there.
word being yet. Okay, so the mayor
cool
says,
folks, man.
now please, everyone, enjoy yourself. There is plenty of food. And let's start that music again. And all of a sudden, the band gets into a rousing kind of jig that they're performing. And some people are kind of beginning to move and as they're drinking, and some are feeding their face. Which, Reed, you notice, oh, that's right, there's food.
Mm-hmm.
As he says, you know, you see like crumbs and icing and punch dripping out of his mouth as he's going, that's right, there's more food.
Mm-hmm. I got some in my pocket already.
So people start spreading out. You don't have the crowd as much. And as the mayor steps down off the table with the help of the guards and everything, he goes, come. Guests of honor. And he kind of motions you towards him.
I'm like halfway to the
Go
table
back.
with the food, and I'm like, dang it. All right.
Gaius definitely just reaches back and grabs Reed and just like turns
Missed
them
it
around.
by this much. And he says, so, you've had a couple hours to speak to everybody and interview as many people as possible. What have you learned? Do you have any new suspects?
Well,
Mr.
there
Mayor,
are.
if I
Oh, go ahead, Nikita. You were actually talking to people. I am just saying I was lulling everyone into a false sense of security through our dance. I am now done with my part of the plan.
So I don't know if you know who started the fight out back, but some people used it as a distraction to beat the shit out of Silas Marner, and I want to watch his reaction.
Okay. Give me a perception check, please. Or an investigation, your choice.
Ah, dang it! Should have done investigation.
He seems pretty like what?
I don't think you were involved, obviously, but I get it. People don't like him, but yeah, we're having problems.
Well, wait a minute. This sounds like two separate things. You're having problems interviewing people, or you're having problems with Silas?
We are having problems interviewing people. They don't like him. They don't like Veronica. Not many are sad she's gone. We even mentioned the name, and we've been cussed out pretty impressively on some places. So,
Silas, not Veronica.
yeah, this is true. This is true. We really want to help, but there's obviously something here that people don't want to tell us. What have you got? I mean, you're killing me. Please, if there's anything you can help us with, that would be wonderful.
Well, can you point out some of the people you've spoken to this evening that have given you a hard time?
I don't want to get anyone in trouble.
It really just seems
trouble
to be
seems
the
the least of
tone
our-
of most people, though. It
What
seems
was
to be
that, Reed?
most. It seems to be the tone of most people.
Yes, but we
It's really
we
like-
do have a missing child who might be dead, and that, to me, that goes past how you feel about other people.
To you.
Yeah.
Gaius, do you any input?
In regards to what part?
Difficulties
Pretend like I
Mission?
was meditating deep somewhere where there was water running or something.
Well, Nikita was telling the mayor how a lot of people are not helpful and that they don't really like Silas at all, and they don't particularly like Veronica either, apparently.
Yeah, well, I mean, there seems to be a bit of a negative aspect toward the class divide between Mr. Marner and his family and the rest of the town. I'm sure you understand, Mayor. I assume you're not originally from Forest Grove, correct?
My family is. I came back.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yes.
So, well, I guess you probably don't get it as much as Mr. Marner does, but I'm sure there's a bit of negative aspect because you're not from town. You might get a little bit, but for people out of town, it's a bit more. You know how it is. Small towns away from areas, away from main trade routes, they get a little insular, which is fine. That's because you have the people that come to this area. I mean, hell, we got waylaid by bandits on the way here. I can understand
really?
why people are hesitant. Oh, yes. Remember, that's how I told you Mr. Worthington passed.
That's right. You did mention that. I forgot that it was bandits.
Yes. So I can understand why the townsfolk might be a little leery of new people. It's understandable. So, but also Mr. Marner kind of comes in and he can at times be a little hard to work with, business-wise, at least, is from what I gather from people that have had to do business with him. He's very good at it. He's not great at the people skills, kind of like you are. He doesn't know how to smooth over his rough edges, if you will.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. That's very kind of you to say, young man.
Well, it is your job, and you do it well. But because of his disconnect from the Forest Grove proper, he's still seen as an outsider, despite the fact that he's lived here for however many years. And that adds a layer of antagonism that kind of is giving us a little bit of a hard time. Just because I've noticed when we're saying we're here for a missing girl, we get a positive reaction until we drop the Marner name. And then it's a little... But in our researches, we've found that, in fact, that Marner, potential partner for Marner and his daughter, had gone missing in town. Now, Mr. Marner assumes that he did a social faux pas with his daughter, and then they left in the dead of night without a word. But I'm wondering if maybe they did leave because of Mr. Marner shoving his foot in his mouth. Perhaps something else happened. I mean, Mr. Goodry has gone missing, apparently. Or at least nobody can find him. That's why we had substandard punch. And also... So,
It was okay.
needless to say... Yeah, well, I mean, apparently Mr. Goodry does a really excellent punch, so... But the point I'm trying to make to you, Mr. Mayor, is we're finding all of these interesting tidbits, and we're trying to weave them together. But the fact that your family, not necessarily you, but your family is originally from here, I have a question. Do you know who, like, some of the oldest and most powerful families are in Forest Grove?
Most powerful,
Well, I say powerful, but influential is probably more the right word for that. People who, if you are a member in towns, like, I don't necessarily want to go to the mayor with this. I instead go to the Sunny Days or whoever. Or the people of that have leadership roles. Maybe not anymore, but in the past as well. Because the information we've gathered, I'm not necessarily pointing fingers at them, but they might be good people for us to approach and talk to because other people trust them. So they might have told them information, so they might be good spots for us to start.
Well, I think you.
At which point, Guy turns and looks away. He's like, "Where the fuck did that come from?" Ugh. Anyway,
Well, you bring up some interesting points. I did not know about the business person that Silas supposedly offended.
yes, the Lord Mitchner, if that rings a bell.
No.
Yeah, I might be pronouncing the name wrong. It was one of my associates talking to Mr. Marner, and I just was passing by and caught the name and the story.
And as far as powerful,
At least influential, or people, maybe not anymore, but like maybe some of the oldest families, like the original settlers, perhaps. Our town wasn't as old or storied as Forest Grove apparently is. It was more of a newer farming commune that had just started up only a few decades prior. So there just feels like there's a lot of history here. And
I would say so. The families that are old here are very old.
Just thinking about this, Mr. Mayor, how long have you been serving as mayor here? Just curious.
Probably
Has it been
over 15 years, I would guess.
The reason why I ask is just getting a history of the town helps because, for example, for example, on the regular, children get lost in the woods. That's a thing that happens. Removing that as a potential avenue for Miss Marner's disappearance, we were curious to see if there was an average. What was the average for people going missing from the town? You've been here for 15 years. I know in Seven Rivers there is an inordinate amount of people who just disappear. Nobody knows what happens to them. I'm curious to see if there's a statistic that you've noticed since you've been in charge.
We don't really have people who go missing, other than Veronica's like the first person I can actually ever. Well, there was a hunt. We've had a couple of hunters go into the woods and not come back.
Was it goblins?
We don't know. There's a lot, it's the woods. There's a lot of wild animals, and there are the tribes of goblins to the north or the northwest. Yeah, well, the tree squids are a big problem, but they are good eating. I was
about to say they are delicious.
They are delicious,
oh.
but
a little butter, a little garlic.
Mm-hmm. But if you're not paying attention, they can definitely do some hurt.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
But the people who've gone missing, who've either gone hunting or we've had some people who, friends of theirs or family, said they went for walks in the woods who haven't come back. We've always chalked that up to the danger of the woods to wild animals and such.
And some people just be that.
Yeah, some people have said that they think it's the goblins, but from my time here, the goblins don't come this far south. They know that we're going to protect ourselves and defend ourselves, so they kind of stay away from us.
And I'll be quite honest, every interaction I've had with a goblin has gone actually very well. I have never had a negative reaction with goblins in my entire career, which is kind of odd to say. Now, kobolds, those things are mean.
I've heard that. Now, it depends what type of goblin you're talking about, because we have there's a set of the green goblins, a tribe to the north, who are sweet, very sweet. Nice little tribe up there that just mind their own business and everything. But you head west into the mountains a little bit, there is a big mess of the gray goblins, and they're nasty.
Oh, I've never interacted with them, but good to know.
Really nasty.
Speaking of west, through some of the people we have talked to, there is apparently a person, being, however you want to say it, out to the west past the river through the fall, I believe. Have you heard of a? It might be just a legend for you. The Baba. Is this ringing a bell to you?
Can I try again for insight on him?
Sure.
Reed is munching on a cake while he.
Okay, everyone.
I really
but
hope we
Nikita-
don't have to go into combat for this later.
We get the
5:20.
headphones back. Roll initiative.
He says, well, I've heard people talk about there being rumors of a witch deep in the woods, but yet no one can say they've ever seen them. I know that it's dangerous. The woods are very dangerous, but I can't really, people talk, and old communities have their legends and their myths. Now, Nikita, what you get out of this is it's a little bit political mumbo jumbo they've given up here. You detect a little bit of fear. You also detect a little bit of backpedaling double talk, kind of trying to change the topic a little bit sort of thing. All of those things together, it's tough to tell what he believes and what he doesn't. The fear part of it is telling you that there's something in what he's saying that definitely touches him deeply on a very strong level. But it's nothing that you get the feeling that he can put his finger on to say, this is a person or this is something that I fear or that is something I've had experience with. But it is something that I find scary, is kind of what you're getting out of all this. Okay, hopefully Talia will join us again in a moment. There she is.
I didn't pick a fight.
Yeah.
Hey.
For
Man,
once.
I think you were just looking at him. Hopefully, you didn't pick a fight.
Yeah. Suddenly, Nikita, whack!
Guys, in response to your question, the mayor says, well, as I said, the woods are very dangerous because of, it's the wild. And
Of course.
there has been, there are people in the village who have talked of a witch who lives deep in the woods, but no one's ever seen this witch. No one's ever had any proof of this witch. And let's face it, old villages and people in villages tell stories and like to create myths and legends, and if for no other
legends.
reason than to keep their kids out of the woods. So,
Legends, tall tales.
right.
But like I said, we're being thorough. I was just curious, knowing now that your family has been here for a while. Just
yeah,
curious
there's
if you
been
had heard of
talk of a witch for
generations.
long before I came here.
Did they?
Okay.
Did they ever call the witch baby yogurt?
I do not
Oh,
believe
God.
so. No.
He's got his stomach
Keep
rules
eating,
the
Reed. It's
the
okay.
man. Yeah, careful. The muffins
Can you
are a
pass me
little
some
dry.
cookies?
Make sure you soak those in milk first, so you don't choke to death.
That's a good idea.
Have you heard of the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man. Anyway,
Well, Mayor, I haven't
yes,
heard
I
of the
know
Muffin
the
Man.
Muffin
Tell
Man.
us more.
he lives on Drury Lane.
Not the gumdrop buttons.
No.
Eat me!
Anyway, what the hell are we talking
Um,
about? Yeah.
What, guys,
Good
you were
chat.
saying?
Yeah, I was saying things in order to make sense. So I dropped the Baba and see if we got anything off that. So yes, Mayor, we've been collecting information, but I think we should probably, now that it seems like people are a little less tense again, we should probably go back out there and hit the crowd. Is there anyone you would recommend we talk to? Like I said, family name, like important families that we might want to, like family names that should catch our ear, and maybe we talk to them because
I will think about that, and I will track one of you down if I can think of anybody.
It did sound like Veronica had some friends who might know stuff. I mean, we met a few of the girls and their families, but she might have had other friends. But I don't get the feeling like her dad really knew them. So
No,
maybe
her
if you
dad
knew
was
them,
kind
or-
of a hands-off kind of parent.
Forest Grove's interesting. We've had we have a number of families that have farms that have there's specific gifts and that they then turn into their business. But we have a lot of people who gone off and to find their fortune elsewhere, which seems to be a new thing within the past decade. But when you're in a small town, you'll find that things happen in cycles where things tend to get, little trends in the way people act and what they do. But I'm going to make an announcement before you go back out.
Oh, one last thing, Mayor.
Yes.
Is there anything you can tell us about the ravens and the cats? It seems like they're all kind of like just a lot of ravens and cats, and they're
Well, the black birds
seems a little unusual.
We've always had a very large population of blackbirds, but I mean I've been told that's because we're a farming community, and that a lot of that has to do with all the farms about. The cats are interesting. It seems to be a feral colony of cats that have kind of made their home here. Someone told me that a lot of it has to do with because, well, one, people are stupid enough to feed them. But secondly, that if they were to go into the woods or the forests, a lot of larger animals would eat them. But
Okay, that
I
makes
was
sense.
told that you can tell some of them hang around different houses because those are the people that feed them. That's what I've been told.
And
Okay.
quick follow-up. Which of your guards broke up the fight outside? We would like to speak to the people who were fighting.
I believe they were sent home. I'll see if I can track down who any of the guards were, though.
I appreciate that. Spasiba.
Not a problem. He steps up on a chair again and clinks his glass and says, "Everyone's attention, please. It has saddened me to learn that members of our community have not been offering the courtesy and the positive honesty that our community is known for. So as our new friends walk amongst you and have questions for you, it is strongly encouraged that you be forthcoming with your answers, whether it be about your own personal views or your neighbors. So this will be followed up on, and it will come back to me to know which of you have and haven't been forthcoming. So I highly advise you to be honest with our new friends."
Reed grabs the largest.
People.
Can I insight check to see if he's intentionally
Yeah.
sabotaging us?
Oh,
Can I check the crowd to see how they're taking this?
sure.
Yeah.
That-
I can tell you
he
right
fi-
now,
he
Which is,
poorly.
get
He
scolded.
finishes his little speech with, "But other than that, please, there's lots of food and drink. Enjoy."
Reed grabs the biggest pastry. He's like hiding it behind it in front of his face. He's just like,
Guys is definitely doing
I
that
buried
slow,
my face in my mug.
Yeah, Guys is doing the slow pan and going, "What
Am I rolling
the
insider
is
perception?
that?"
Yeah.
Talia, what were you checking? The crowd?
Just to see the crowd if and there's anyone specific that has a specifically strong reaction to that, like, oh really now? Like, did that just put a mark on their heads for anyone, or even the mayor's head for anyone?
Okay. Give me a either an investigation roll or a perception, but just let me know which it's going to be. You notice in the crowd a number of eyes get a little bigger for a few moments, and you notice a lot of whispering and muttering amongst each other. And with other people, you notice that their eyes immediately go from the mayor to members of the group, and then like a lot of things being muttered behind hands to each other. And you do see a lot of, oh, but of course, yeah, yeah, and then like as they turn around, you see the eye rolling and such. Gaius, what were you going to do?
I'm insight checking to see if the mayor is intentionally screwing us over.
Okay, give me an insight check.
Yep.
That's like a
27.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone but Gaius, take off your headphones, please.
Jesus Christ.
Believe it or
I'm
believe it or not, Gaius, this guy genuinely thinks I better step in to help this out and really let them know that they have to talk to these people. And if not, they're going to have to deal with me, is kind of the feeling that you get from him. You don't get the feeling of any
ill intent.
ill intent. It's just kind of like you get the it's a small town. This guy hasn't had to deal with this crap before.
Please, no. Don't say those words. Good God. Bacchus. Why do you put me on such a hard road? Oh, he's an innocent person who doesn't know he's shot us in the foot.
Yep.
That's what's going on in
Oh
the
man,
background.
he really is just that
Muttering.
dumb, huh?
Yeah, that's what you hear Gaius muttering like, oh, Bacchus be praised. He's trying to be helpful.
And as you go back out into the crowd, why don't we switch over to Richie and Butt Trumpet?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, as the mayor's going by, Bacchus is like, hey, great job!
Okay. And the mayor looks at you and just kind of nods and winks and goes,
Hey, you got it.
okay, everyone but Butt Trumpet, take off your headphones, please.
Take a nice break.
Butt Trumpet, Richie kind of has Silas's arm over his shoulder and is helping him along. Even though he doesn't need it, he's just doing it anyway. Silas is just kind of hanging his head and shaking in. Richie's like, we'll get you home. We'll get you to bed, Mr. Marner. It'll be okay.
I'd like to sit up front with Richie.
Okay.
Once, I'm assuming this is a carriage, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, once Silas is in the carriage and all closed in and settled down and comfortable, I sit up front with Richie, and once we start moving, I kind of, in a tone that gives the impression of, well, after that situation, I think we've thrown formality out the window.
Okay.
I kind of look at Richie. So, does that happen a lot?
Not really, but not for the reason you might think. Mr. Marner doesn't really interact with many people in the town. Although, when he does, it's not usually positive.
Yeah, I'm,
He says, I've overheard him speaking and saying that he's been threatened a couple times, but he also is a businessman that seems to know how to choose his moments, which quite often isn't a good thing, but he does do it, so when he does get threatened, it's rare, it seems. But his meetings with people never seem to be overly positive.
Yes, I've certainly gathered that. Look, I know we haven't really spoken, the two, but I feel given these circumstances, we don't necessarily need to be too overly cautious with our words, especially because you seem to be the only one who will take this seriously when I say, we're here to help Silas, and we're here to help find Veronica. So, honestly, getting a little bit more insight into where some of these butting of heads have come from would be helpful.
You see Richie kind of looking down a little bit as he kind of goes and snaps the reins a little bit, and the horses pick up to a trot as opposed to the walking they were doing before. And he says, he goes, I know. He says, you seem like good folk. Let's get Mr. Marner home and in bed before we have that conversation. Is that okay?
That's fair.
Okay.
He's spoken very highly of you.
Really?
And that was before the alcohol.
Huh. I never heard that before, so thank you. That's very nice to hear.
He's very, very proud to have you in his employ. He seemed very happy that you've been with him for this long.
That's news. Thank you.
Of course.
It doesn't take all that long to get over to the Marner estate. But you get there, and Richie helps Mr. Marner, Silas, out of the carriage and inside. And he says, wait down here. I'll be down in a second. And he helps him up to his room. He's gone for maybe 10, 15 minutes.
I'll take off my jacket so it's just the shirt and vest and the breeches.
Okay.
And, the glasses too. Maybe get a little less intimidating to look at.
There you go. Yeah, you don't want to scare Richie.
Maybe the heels. My feet are killing me.
So he eventually comes down and he says, might be we can head. I have a room out in the barn. If you want, we can go there.
Sure. If you're perfectly okay with that.
He takes you out there. It's a big barn, and there's like 3/4 of it seems to be an actual barn with some farm equipment, a number of horses, a few oxen, couple other carriages, some wagons, things like that. But on the one side, there's a couple different rooms, and as you go in, you can see some of them are storage rooms, but there are a couple that look like they're more for people than they are for equipment and tack and things like that. And the largest of them, while still not that large, Richie brings you in and he says, I have some tea, iced tea, if you'd like.
Oh, well, don't trouble yourself. It's all right. But make yourself comfortable. I'm not trying to force this conversation to be invasive. It's purely so we can help the best we can, because frankly, with the reaction we've gotten from trying to find a missing person, clearly there's more to this than just where was she last seen,
Well, that makes sense, he says. And I don't take it as anything forced, little one. You've been very kind to me and Mr. Marner, so anything I can do to help, and especially to help Veronica, and especially if you can find her and find her safe, I'm happy to help.
Well, given the decent working relationship you've had with Mr. Marner, how well did you know Veronica?
Says, decent working relationship. That's wow. That you're hitting me with a lot of things I've never heard or considered before. But okay, Veronica, give me a perception check there, Butt Trumpet.
Oh boy. Woo! Man, it is a nat 20 kind of night.
He says, Veronica's a good girl. She known her as long as I've been here. And you notice that he's struggling a little bit, and for the first time you see him holding back a little bit. And you also see him struggling on how to act a little bit. It's not really obvious, but you do notice that.
As long as you've been here. And, how long has that been?
I started probably a little over 10 years ago.
Wow. So you've seen her since she was a child.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm not trying to alarm you, but like I said, needing to be as candid as possible given the circumstances of everything, you seem to be one of the few people who have something positive to say regarding her.
She
Apparently,
she could be a little difficult or tough at times.
yeah, we we were told to stop by the Jangle farm, and we met with Estella briefly.
Hmm. How'd that
Do you
go?
remember those days? Well, not that great. Her father, we're very lucky he let us have the time of day. Estella was very emotional over the situation. Believe she said some things along the lines of, if Veronica wanted something, she got it. And if she didn't right away, she'd make it happen. That she didn't take too kindly to being spoken about in a bad way. And that her father bought the farm not long after that.
Well, I can't say she's far wrong, honestly. But what I will say is this. Mr. Marner is a cutthroat businessman.
Mm.
But Mr. Marner only takes direction from Mr. Marner. Uh, I I really doubt that he would buy a farm solely because his daughter told him to. She would make demands of people, but they were demands of a girl, a young girl. They weren't, what you're suggesting sounds like grown up, like many of the people in this town. The grown ups, the adults. Veronica was nowhere near that mature. She was nowhere near that grown up. She may have looked it to some people, it seems, but she was a kid.
Yeah, actually.
She was a shrewd kid, but she was a kid.
Well, it's interesting you bring up the word grown up and the difference between acting one way or the other. Another thing that got mentioned was Veronica came upon some grown up jewelry. She was seen wearing jewelry intended for grown ups, and Silas didn't seem to understand anything about that. But then again, the drinks were flowing tonight, so I didn't want to, take anything to heart, but I figured it was interesting to note.
He pauses for a minute and he thinks and he says, huh. He said, I used to see her occasionally with some fancy jewelry, but I assumed her father gave it to her. I did see it. It wasn't my place to ask.
No, of course.
But that's weird that if Mr. Marner says he didn't give it to her, that's just strange.
That's what I thought. And a couple people have mentioned a boyfriend. I think his name was Chip in Seven Rivers. Might have worked at the tobacco place.
Oh, him. Yeah, she had it bad for him. I was on that trip to Seven Rivers with Mr. Marner. I needed someone to load up the wagon and drive him there. That was me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they talked a lot. She spent every moment she could at that tobacconist.
Mm.
I just dropped her off constantly, so, and then would pick her up, but so I can't speak any more than that. But that's where she was wanting to go every chance she could.
Mm. No, that's interesting. Let me ask you. We heard that Veronica was meant to be betrothed to the Baron, and she knew about that a few weeks before her disappearance. Were you around when that was announced to her?
No, but Mr. Marner made that. He didn't do anything to hide that. I don't know how it came about, but he was very proud of that fact, as a matter of fact. And it seemed that seemed to be something he had been working on for a while, from what I gather.
Hmm.
I don't think Veronica was thrilled to death about it, but I don't know really how she felt. She certainly wasn't jumping for joy about it.
No, of course not. Do you recall any more drop-offs and pickups from anywhere in between that time before she disappeared?
She in the past year to year and a half, the past year actually, she's had me doing a lot more for her. I guess since she's gotten older, I've been driving her. She's had me drive her a lot of places. She's had me doing a lot more things for her.
Such as? Every
Uh,
detail helps.
Well, she didn't have a lot of chores, but the few that she did have, I ended up doing for probably the past 10 months, I guess.
Wow,
Yeah.
that was nice of you.
Yeah, I'm a sweetheart.
Any particular, I mean, well, I suppose just there's no other way to ask other than why. Why'd you help? Genuinely out of curiosity.
As I said, Veronica could be very persuasive.
And a good insight check?
He is definitely hiding something. And
Did
it's
that
something
roll?
that makes him very uncomfortable.
Okay, I'm working a theory out in my head here. Okay. Trying to think of what else to ask. Richie, so you're aware of the type of businessman Mr. Marner is.
Yes.
Honestly, I haven't been around for any of these kinds of dealings or these meetings or anything. But with the opinion everyone has of him, it could be helpful to know if maybe any of these things could have given anyone a motive to be involved. Maybe not necessarily the active, direct person, but if any of these business partners were offended just enough to look the other way or give the right information to the right person, you know?
Well, I'll tell you this, and I want you to know I'm trying to be as helpful as possible, but you're going to find this to be not helpful in the least. Every single person in this village that Mr. Marner has had dealings with probably would, in your classification, have a motive.
Okay.
He was very, very much disliked. He had a very bad reputation. Hate is not a word that I like to throw around, but it basically wrapped around Mr. Marner like a one of his suits if he walked into town.
Hmm. How on earth could someone like that have business associates then?
Oh, it's the sort of business that he practiced that caused it.
Could you elaborate?
Now, this is just between you and me.
Yes, absolutely.
I have your word?
You have my word.
Okay. Mr. Marner would occasionally make loans, business loans to people.
Mm-hmm.
I never had one, but I had heard rumors that they were not very fair, the terms.
Okay.
And then with a lot of these businesses, whether it was not being able to pay off their loans or the people just genuinely came upon some hard luck, and sometimes that hard luck may have had something to do, it may have, snowballed from some other business dealing or something like that. The first person in there, usually to try to take advantage of that bad luck, would be Mr. Marner, and he owns a lot of the businesses and farms in this community. And the people know nothing else, so he keeps them on as workers, but he owns the farm and gets the profits.
I see.
Or the businesses.
Okay.
And then he ships a lot of the stuff to big cities like Ankmar and Seven Rivers.
That doesn't sound too far off of what we've been able to gather. So you haven't necessarily said anything that would shock anybody, but
No, I
I'll
just
still
don't want it
respect-
coming back to me. I have a duty to my employer to, loyalty.
I understand. I
But-
understand.
If this will help find Veronica,
I think it will.
that'll make him happy.
What was the most recent bout of bad luck that Silas had heard about over the last, let's say, couple months?
Oh, that's easy. I think that would be the Worthington furniture business. Seems
Yeah.
that Mr. Worthington met a ill demise, and Mr. Marner, I think, really made a bad call in his timing for that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we unfortunately we had to break the news to the Worthingtons.
They're good
We-
people. They are very good people, and that family's been around for ages. Their furniture making, their furniture is known throughout, the barony and beyond for the high quality.
They seemed it. They seemed like lovely people. I
Yeah.
was very sad to see the look on their faces and to have to even to see such bad news be delivered.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what about before that?
It'd been a little while. He had been away a lot on business. Most of the year, as a matter of fact. Probably the Thatcher farm. That was about a year and a half ago, probably. Mr. Thatcher had a heart attack and died.
Oh,
And I know he went after that one pretty hard. But the Thatchers have been around for a good long time, and word over the years had gotten around not to get a loan from Mr. Marner, and I don't think they ever had one, because I don't think that Mrs. Thatcher sold. But I know her eldest boy, I believe, is running the farm. I think, production has slowed down quite a bit because of it, but I don't know who owns that farm. Like I said, I'm just the help.
no, that's all right. The only reason I'm grilling you is you're able to see things that maybe Mr. Marner as a businessman didn't, and I feel like you've had a lot of insight in your experience working for this family.
Well, the Marners are the ones who seem to see a lot, he says.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you referring
as
to
I said, he's able to spot weakness in people and pounce on it.
I'm going to ask a question, and you don't have to get into too intensive a detail if you don't want to, but like I said, everything helps. Did he maybe see any weakness or vulnerability within your family, perhaps? Is that why you were working with him?
There was, but it was a small weakness. It was my parents had just had a couple bad years. They hadn't taken a loan or anything.
Might want to mute that. Your parents had come upon a bout of bad luck.
Yeah, and they needed some money, and he came to speak to them. But I had heard that the last couple people he had working for him had taken off. He had a reputation for not being able to keep people, and
Well,
so
10 years is quite a long time.
Well, I offered to work for him at a pretty minuscule rate, as long as he left my parents alone and made sure that they had the help they needed.
You are very loyal.
To my parents
I understand.
and people I'm kind of forced to be. So
I'm very familiar with being forced to be loyal.
give me a perception check, Butt Trumpet.
Balls.
You don't notice anything other than the fact that when you say you understand what it's like, there's a change in his face. You're not sure if it's longing. You're not sure if he's going to cry. You're not sure if it's wanting to say something. There's just a change in his face, but then it goes, he kind of catches hold of it. That's kind of impossible to miss, but anything else, you just don't notice anything else.
I'm gonna get a little bit closer to Richie and may I share something personal with you? You seem like you'd understand and relate.
Sure, if you want to.
Before I met this group that I am with now, these good folk, I was with a master, a sorcerer. This sorcerer was very kind to me, but I was only lucky enough to find him and come upon him through the person I was with before that. And that sorcerer was very cruel, very hurtful, and very frightening. Didn't want me to see my own worth. Didn't want me to know anything. Didn't want me to come off as even being the type of creature who could think. And I still struggle with that. I still struggle with learning and figuring things out and knowing that I'm allowed and understanding things, but the kind sorcerer who took me away from that, he really helped me understand that there was more to me than my use to others. It's very warming to see somebody who cares so much for their family. I never really had that. This group is as close as I've ever come. So I just figured you'd appreciate hearing something like that.
Thank you. I'm glad you were able to find a group that, well, basically a family, because you seem like a very kind person, and you deserve to be with people who appreciate you. It's tough when people don't appreciate you, or maybe don't think of you as someone who could be appreciated, but as something to be used.
That isn't fair, is it?
No, but it's not always unwarranted, I guess.
Well, they are appreciated, but maybe not everyone is the best at showing it.
Yeah, I'm not as great a person as you may think, I guess.
None of us are perfect, but that doesn't mean we don't deserve decency.
This is true.
I smile at Richie and kind of pat him on the arm a little bit. I really appreciate you helping me.
I don't know what I can offer. Veronica, came out here a lot because she needed things, and a lot of times she wanted to get away from her father. And, so I set up a room on the corner there with the windows so that she could have a place to go.
She slept here?
She napped here occasionally, but she didn't. I don't know if she slept here. I mean, I don't know, but the room on the corner there has a cot and a desk.
Could I see it?
Sure. And he takes you out, and you go down to the corner farthest away from the front of the barn, farthest away from the house. And it's a room that's probably half the size of Richie's, but it's got a cot in there with some pillows on it, a very simple desk and chair. Give me a perception check or an investigation check, please.
Yep, because I would like very much to go through things. That is a 17.
You notice the desk doesn't have any drawers.
Okay.
But there is an inkwell on it with a quill laying alongside it.
Any trick bottom to the desk?
No, because you can tell, I'm not even going to have you roll for that, because the desk is basically like a table.
Okay. So no paper or anything, just a ink and a quill?
Yep.
Okay. How about the cot?
Pretty
Can
simple.
I see if there's anything in the pillows?
You can try. Give me a perception.
Hey!
At first, you don't find anything, but in one of the pillows, you find a small key.
Ooh! Yep, gonna pocket that little bitch. Sorry.
It's okay.
Nothing under the cot, nothing in the blankets or anything? Or in the mattress?
No, but what I'm going to do is, because that was such a good roll, keep telling me what you're looking for, and we'll just...
Really going on that other diary theory here.
Okay.
Any other kind of indication of her keeping something a secret? Any indication that there's safety deposit box, anything like that, you know? Secret hiding place.
When you're looking under the cot, you do notice a square of floor that doesn't match the rest of... It's like it's barn... It's a barn floor. So it's large planks of wood. Well, there seems to be a square section that is different from the rest. I mean, it looks like it fits in. It's just the lines between the boards don't match up because it's like this one section seems to be almost cut away a little bit and like it was stuck in there to repair maybe a hole or something.
Sure would like to see if I can move it.
You can use your dagger or something and pry it open.
Okay.
Okay. You probably have to move the cot to do it.
All right, I can do that.
Okay. You pry it open. It's not a big section. It's maybe 1.5 feet by 1 foot.
I mean, I'm not a big me, so...
This is true.
What kind of scale are we talking here?
It's a layer of planking that kind of was set up like a little bit of a trap door. But underneath it, you can find a little recess, and there's a small chest in there.
A chest that could perhaps need a key to unlock it?
There is a lock in here on this.
Time to test out the key!
Okay, you take the chest out, and you stick the key in, and it fits and it turns.
Opening!
You open it up, and what you find inside, you find a lot of jewelry and a book.
Gonna look at that little book, flip through the pages.
Okay.
I'm gonna flip to the last written in page.
Here's what we're going to do, Butt Trumpet, to make things easier for you. If you take time to study this book, I will tell you that if you look inside the cover, it verifies that this is the special diary of Veronica Marner.
Yes!
But if you take an evening or so to go through this, I'll give you a summary of the entire thing rather than going separate this page or that page. How's that sound? Cool.
Sounds good.
You betcha. And the jewelry, there's a fair amount of it, and it all looks pretty old.
Okay.
But it's kind of it's nice. It's not, it's not the king's jewels or anything. It's not modern jewelry.
I very much want to take this chest back with me, but I know that Richie would see that, and Richie would most likely be the one to take me wherever I need to go, so I need to speak with him.
Okay.
Richie?
Before you do that, are you just leaving the chest out and open?
Yes.
Okay.
Richie,
Yes?
I show him the open chest with the jewelry. Is this what you saw Veronica wearing?
I just noticed it. I don't know that, but yeah, it could very well be.
This is all very relevant to ways that are helping track Veronica's movements. And I know she didn't spend a lot of time here, but very clearly it was enough where she could utilize this space and the kindness that you were willing to give her, and very much like to be able to hold on to this just briefly until we can find her.
The book, right?
Yes.
Not the jewelry?
I mean, honestly, it would be ideal if we could investigate this to see where it came from. If this was the jewelry that she was wearing, no one seems to know where it came from.
I don't feel while I think you're a very nice person, I don't know you, little person. The book, I think probably there's no problem with you borrowing it, but jewelry, that's stuff that kind of could be valuable, and I don't think it's right to have it leave with a stranger, if you know what I mean.
All right.
I'm not going to move it. I'll leave it where did you find it?
It was under this panel of the floor.
Well, we'll just put it back where you found it. You said you wanted the book too, right?
Yes, this is especially important.
Okay, well then I have no problem with you borrowing that. Just when you're done with it, bring it back.
I will.
Okay. Veronica would have my head if she knew that I let someone take her stuff.
Well, this is all about making sure she can be brought back home safe and sound.
Which is why I let you in here, because if she knew that I let anyone or even told anyone about this, she'd be upset as well.
No one is going to hurt you.
It's not always me I'm worried about, but you
You're not causing anyone any harm.
Okay, I hope not. I hope you're right, little one.
I don't throw those words out willy-nilly.
Well, thank you.
But all right, I will respect the boundary. We'll put this back. But it is important that my associates know, at the very least, that it was found. I will not let anyone take it or touch it or walk away with it or anything, but they should be aware
That's fine.
that
That's fine. I just, don't spread it around town or anything, but
definitely not on the plan.
okay.
All right. Well, this has actually been very, very helpful. And I don't know if the party is still going on, but otherwise, maybe if you would be so kind, I'd like to be able to either get back to the party or the inn.
I'll take you whichever place you want to go, but I have to get back quickly because if Mr. Marner is left alone after what happened happened at the party, I don't want to leave him.
Then
too
whichever
long.
is closest.
That would
Whichever
be
is closest, if you could just drop me off.
that would be the estate with the party. So come along.
All right.
So all of you head back into the party.
Could I grab
Yes.
everyone? The mayor has walked away, yes?
Yes, he with his wizard.
Good. What about the wizard assistant?
He sticks close to the wizard.
And is Thalia still on the other side of the room, or?
Yeah, but like still making like waiting for you guys to like come off of the stage and stuff from where you were next to the mayor.
Well, they came off. I think
wanna-
they came off the stage after they spoke to the mayor.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize if they were off the stage yet after that whole he's just an idiot moment.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, definitely Gaius was not near him when he was muttering that, like within party hearing, but just like, oh, we are so screwed. Oh,
The second Talia rejoins the group, the first thing she says to them is, "You guys know your insert Gaius beep here. You guys know you're screwed, right?"
oh, we are mother.
Yeah.
God, you
I
see
am
guys
glad
in the
that
background
more
like
than
just
I have
kicking a trash can off into the distance.
But I want to let everyone
I'm
know,
better
because
now.
I've talked to the mayor on and off. So, Reed, you asked about the crows and cats. I did too when I talked to him alone. He knows something, and he's not
Oh.
sharing it. I think we all saw the crows above his estate, huh? So whose side are the cats on?
There is some magic afoot here that we can
Da.
determine. We're assuming the Baba individual, they, them, it, whatever it be, has some kind of hold or influence amongst the old Forest Grove folk. The
Not
Geechee
just-
are. Go ahead.
Not just the old folk. When you mentioned the Baba, I was staring at him intently. I've been doing this the whole night. It's really annoying.
It's creepy too. You don't blink very frequently. You need to
I
moisturize
forget
your
that-
eyeballs.
yeah.
Eldred goes,
I need to
and
work-
you
Is that a
drool.
dwarf
I don't
thing?
know if you're aware of that, but you drool also.
You don't. No, you
When
don't
I
drool
stare,
dwarfs.
really?
Yeah,
No,
just
no, you
little
don't.
trickles
No, he's lying.
sometimes.
He's lying again, like the flying thing.
Oh,
with Reed.
right. Okay, so fuck you, Eldred, and then or bleep you, Eldred. And then- no, when you mentioned the Baba, his face
Mhm.
did the flicker thing like it did when I mentioned the crows and cats. He was
Interesting.
scared.
So,
Mhm.
don't
Nuts.
know if you ever heard the fact, but his family is originally from here, but he went away and came back. So,
He's heard something from them, nothing specific, but there is a deep-seated fear of the Baba.
well, I have a speculation, some supposition, if
Yeah.
you will.
This is
And
what I
other
want to
large
do before
words
we
with an
talk to
S
anyone.
at the front. Yes. When I asked about the old powerful families of Forest Grove, let's just take a guess that maybe the mayor's family is amongst them. which is why he
He
was like,
didn't
"Oh,
know.
I'll try and." Yes, he's like, "Oh, I'll if I think of something, I'll let you know later." He
Yeah,
was
what
buying
was
something.
that? Yeah.
Well, like I said, I have a feeling that there are a lot of old secrets here. And because we're trying to figure out what happened to Veronica, it is not necessarily the old secrets that are the reasons why she's gone missing.
Duh.
But because we're snooping around, we're uncovering a bunch of stuff that would rather stay hidden.
Eldred
Yeah.
says, speaking
Yeah?
of missing, aren't we missing
Oh,
somebody?
shit. Oh, fuck, we're missing a blue
Oh,
one. Yeah?
they went home. She pointed at Silas Marner and then tried to say something. I'm not good with reading goblet lips.
But
It made
Trumpet
it
went
look
home
like
with Silas, says Eldred.
duh. That's what my guess was.
That's scary and
For
weird
what
at the same
purpose?
time.
Well, no, and Richie, like
Ah, okay.
The
to
menage a
help.
what?
Escorting him to make sure he doesn't
Oh.
get attacked.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
Okay.
okay.
So there's a single party member split off by themselves
Duh.
with a
Silas
target.
Marner's house isn't too far away, right?
It's like
It's
down
like
right up
across
the road.
again.
How
Oh,
far away was
okay.
that? Paul?
Well,
You could probably get there if you had a carriage in 10 to 15 minutes.
dang. Okay.
I am not very worried. It's Richie's honestly seems to care or be loyal to Silas. So if you want, you can always do you can track their was Butt Trumpets
Oh,
the
yes.
duck? I can't remember.
Butt Trumpet has the the duck. Reed has the bunny.
Okay.
You have a shield. Eldred just has a stick.
Thank you.
Because of course.
It's
You
a
should-
wand,
you should make-
man.
You should make
It's
something
a
for Talia.
wand.
If Talia wants something.
Well, listen, I'm just getting to know Talia as a fellow human, which is quite refreshing for a change to not have just.
Oh,
What?
I'm sorry. The one dwarf and one halfling make you uncomfortable.
No, it's just it's a heightus thing. I lose you
Really?
in crowds very easily.
Even with the wings. Really?
Well, the horns. Listen, you didn't have that hard hat for a while.
That's true. This is true. Anyway, so what do
Yeah,
we do
no,
about
anyway.
how do we I am
This is more of
literally
an
this
insult
close
toward
to
Eldred
just
because he's also human.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah, I know.
you missed it. You took the wrong part of the joke. Anyway,
Am I, though?
no, we should.
How well do you know my ancestry?
Oh dear.
Well, I haven't gone on the website recently to check, but
What does spiders have to do with this?
yes. Well, they collect things.
But I
Anyway,
am very
no.
close to just
Focus.
grabbing them and saying, look, just where is I think they all know where the fuck Veronica is. But they can't tell us because of these stupid old fucking secrets.
I don't know if they know. I think the problem might be they don't. But if they start to share too much information, we're going to learn things about them. Potentially. I could be wrong. It's just speculation. I have a feeling that we have... Like, I've heard some tall tales and stuff about you make a deal with a witch and you have to give away something to get something, and generally it's never a great deal for the person seeking out said witch.
Yeah.
So if that's the scenario we're in right now, we're in a town full of people who have kind of made a deal, which
Yeah.
isn't great.
No.
Maybe the smuggling is attached with that, maybe not. But also, oh, by the way, all that heirloom stuff. The missing heirlooms?
I'm almost
Who collected
positive
it?
Veronica stole them.
Well, here's the thing. Maybe, maybe not. But I know for a fact having things connected to family and that have a value toward people are good for magic as a focus. Or it could be used as payment. Say if somebody made a
Yeah,
deal.
that
But if it was missing, why would anyone be? If it was being used for that purpose, why are they complaining about it going missing?
Well, I wouldn't say it was complained about. We didn't hear about it until we had to kind of dig deep for that. The only person that mentioned it was the mayor, who was kind of sort of robbed, and then also we just learned, even though he has a connection with the town, he is kind of not a part of the town in a way. Like he hasn't spent his entire
Does
life.
not know how his people think and feel.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Look at these people. They do not trust that man. They do
No.
not think he is a part of this town.
nope.
So he might have some background information about this town, but he is not necessarily in the know anymore. It's just
What do we do? I'm stuck. What do we do? I
well,
do not see a direct
the-
route, and I like direct routes.
Mr. Godry,
Goodry.
the punch guy, is missing.
Da.
We could potentially find out why he's missing. It could be related to the girl going missing, or it could not be. But it's an avenue. Also, he could be Reed's midnight visitor, which is also
Yeah.
something we kind of need to determine. Well, Reed, if we figure it out, it's just a guy who went kind of crazy. Mystery solved. If not,
You know what's? No, I mentioned the midnight visitor, but I pretended Reed had a dream, and I said, naked old guy on his chest. Isn't that the funny dream? The mayor made that face again. He knows what I'm talking about.
so okay, Reed, did you notice anything of your person going missing? Was anything
I don't
gone?
think so.
Okay,
I don't think so.
we need to double check your
Investigation
inventory.
check
Are you
on
missing
yourself?
a person? Hey, is that gem still there? Is that just like
No, it's still there.
That's still
Okay.
there.
just checking? Oh well,
The
That's
Reed,
what
Reed,
the
you're not
that's what the
necessarily like-
weirdo was really looking. The weirdo was really looking at that. He pressed on my head.
Yeah.
He licked his finger too.
I am so
You know.
sorry. Seriously, wake me up.
You never had night terrors before, I guess.
I couldn't really
The
move. I
sleep
was
paralysis.
I
No,
just felt
I-
like
I've never heard of that.
Oh, sleep
but-
paralysis. Oh, you never heard of sleep paralysis? Yeah, it's like a every Tuesday thing.
Nikita,
Well,
please. This old man licked his finger and touched my head.
You touched a
I would
gem
look
that's
for it.
attached to my head, but not my skin specifically.
Right.
So I don't know if
I
I've been
would wake up
violated
to
or not.
attack, but I would be deeply concerned. Yes.
How do I tag this on Twitter? Do I use hashtag me too or not?
No, hashtag me, like add an extra O to the two, just to
Like a
Differentiate.
third O, so that way you don't get like the
third
main
O.
tag, but like you
or,
can still
or,
like
or one O.
but
like me
you can
too.
still convey the fear of the moment.
We so we have a couple directions we can go to before we leave here. We get more information about Goodtree because we need to follow up on that. There is another pole of power here. You have
Da.
the mayor, you have Marner, and then you have whoever is in charge of the townsfolk of Forest Grove. Because it's not the mayor. We all
I bet.
saw when he
I-
tried
I-
to get hard with people.
I bet it's the bubble yuppie.
Nikita,
I
can
think-
you translate that
Baba.
for me?
The Baba.
Oh.
Yes, the baba yuppie.
Now, I don't necessarily disagree with you, Reed, that the Baba has influence over the townsfolk. I don't know if they're the ones like day-to-day control. I'm just saying, like we see who in the town has like, maybe it's the person who makes the shortbread, or it could be Sunny Day.
The
be
shortbread lady's so
seamstress.
nice though.
She
I
is.
literally know.
Really
I
good
literally
shortbread.
know less people than you guys. You guys done most of the thought. Hell, it could have been Worthington who passed away.
Worthington.
Yes,
That would make sense if it was the didn't you say the Worthingtons gave you a hard time when you went to tell them about their father or talk to them? Would they be the ones to come
Yes.
here beat him up?
That is a distinct possibility, but let us not A,
No,
spread that. B,
no, of course.
also, I kind of almost feel like it was a little deserved to a certain extent. I mean, I fixed them, so it's fine. But I mean, to be quite honest, if your parent passed away and then some less than reputable businessman comes to try and buy your property before the corpse is cold, it's kind of
No, I
punching them
don't
in the
want to get
face
them in
is
trouble.
applicable.
I just want to get information. I'm just following brain leaps as best I can.
Gotcha. Oh yeah,
Guy-
no, almost
Guys,
certainly
did
it's the
you-
Worthing. Mhm.
Did you see any of the Worthingtons here?
I
I
may
don't know
have.
what they look
I
like.
was all over the place. I guess Paul, would I have in my?
So we're all
Let's
inside
be
the
honest.
party,
I was
right?
doing rotations
Sorry?
throughout. So
Right. So give me a perception check with disadvantage.
Side question: we're all still inside the party, right?
Correct.
14.
14.
But we kind of, yeah, I would say we've, if it wasn't clear, stepped away from everybody to have a chat.
You saw one of the people one of the young men you spoke to at the Worthington business walking around at some point. You don't remember the details, because you know
Are
you
they
were
still here?
what?
Do I see like now that I'm paying attention? Do I notice any other Worthingtons that I saw when I went there? Like the
Okay, you
gentleman
only
I did
saw the
see
two young
earlier?
men.
Yes, I noticed one earlier, but do I see him again then, or the other one?
Not at the moment. You saw the one earlier.
Then I relay that. Just like, oh, well, you know, it's like I saw I only interacted with like two of the younger siblings or maybe like cousins or whatever. They answered the door. Needless to say, they were less than thrilled. But that's where I got the information that both Marner and the mayor apparently approached them about buying their business within hours, apparently, of us telling them. Little
Wow.
lacking tact, to say the least.
Ah,
So,
even I
I
would wait
mean,
longer.
are you implying that you're tactless, or just
Yeah, I tend to be.
just a cunning business woman?
No. I am really close to just grabbing people and saying, tell me. Tactless.
Yes.
Tactless.
Okay. Yes. So, I mean, the Worthingtons might be one of the more important families. I mean, they have a decent business, so they probably I'm sure they have some influence. They employ a few members of the town, or at least family. But we can determine, because the way we're tracking the history of this town, correct me if I'm wrong, is that there was an old forest grove, more in the Baba's territory. Talia, this might be more leaning on some of the stuff that you have heard in the past. This forest grove is not the original forest grove, is what we've gathered. Is that what you have heard as well?
Is
Your father spoke about the history of the town going far beyond the town.
okay. So Forest Grove has been here. It has always been here, but even if the people hadn't built on it yet,
Mm.
it wasn't really made into the town, but it still had its own identity in a way.
Interesting.
It has a history
Okay.
that transcends even what was built here.
So Forest Grove. Now I'm just pulling words I've read when I was in the Abbey. Could be potentially a place of power. a place that has had what's Eldred ley lines. Have you heard of those things before?
Magical ley lines,
conduits.
yes.
Yes. I wonder if Forest Grove might be on one of these. If what Talia is saying that this is a place of that has had a history, there might be power here, like that draw people.
Eldred says, that's a really good idea. My only qualm with it
Mm-hmm.
is if this actually was where a number of magical ley lines crossed, I would think Carlisle would be a lot more talented than he is.
Well, maybe.
And I think other magicians or spellcasters would be drawn to this place.
Interesting. So that is an effect. Okay. So maybe not a ley line, but maybe nearby. But Forest Grove has been special, though. Maybe if it's not.
Oh, these people are
magical-
special, says Eldred.
Yes. Well, I mean,
Aren't
one
we
way of
all?
putting it.
You got a point there.
But it may be special because it's an area of influence for a powerful being. So if this witch in the woods, the Baba, has been here before Forest Grove, but has had power and influence over the area, that could be where all this legend and folklore are coming from. I am horrified and hope I am wrong that there hasn't been a sentient people's sacrifice. Right, Eldred? Have you read anything about human sacrifice or people sacrifice? Or...
I find that on weekends when I have my free time, I'll just sacrifice whatever's at hand.
Oh,
I'm not
it's-
really particular.
Exactly. So you don't necessarily need a human. You could do.
Oh, no.
dwarves and halflings.
Yeah.
Do it.
Okay. Everyone
I
but
want to know how deep this fuckery goes.
He does
Never
have
mind.
the dark wizard's robes on.
And so Eldred, Talia fully believes that Eldred has performed human sacrifices, just not as often as he'd like because it's so hard because of the inconvenience.
right. And the
It's
cost
real
the
messy.
cost of materials.
Cost effectiveness, man, it's so hard to get a corpse these days. Suddenly people are worth so much more after they're dead.
Eldred says, corpse?
Oh, you need them to be alive. Oh, you're
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about necromancy, Talia.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
That's more my jam.
What?
Huh?
Yeah,
Inside
Gaius
joke?
is scary.
You don't need
You
to
guys are
insight
kidding, right?
Remember, this is the guy who talks to corpses. We've
Oh,
seen
of
him do it.
course. Of course.
I've talked to
Talia
My
has-
brain is
yeah,
elsewhere.
beyond death.
Sorry.
I don't
I
don't
was
hide
like,
these
what is
facts.
Gaius doing with corpses? I forgot.
Yeah, Talia, all of a sudden out of nowhere, you're hearing how Gaius is doing things with corpses and stuff, and you're like, ooh.
No, stop. No, that's
Talking
I
to them.
specifically said
Talking to
speaking with spirits of the recently dead. And also
Chatting them
sucking
up,
the
as
life
it were,
energy
says
out.
Eldred.
Oh, also remember when I touch things on occasion, I can just cause them to just desiccate and die. I'm a life cleric.
I've seen him touch people and cause them to defecate.
Not what I said.
Okay.
Not
No?
what
Focus.
I said.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What do we ask these people who are now definitely not wanting to talk to us? How do we convince
Oh,
them to
God.
talk to us?
Use
Can we throw the mayor under the bus?
Yeah,
I think the charm and went left with Silas.
That's a sick burn, Talia. That hurt deep. And it's also accurate.
But also, aw,
Get out of here! Get out of here! Shoot! Get out of here, charisma class. Nobody
But
needs you.
Trumpet materializes in an array of shimmering lights. Like you called.
Well, you know what? It's about
no.
this
That's
time
supposed
that
to be
Bud
the
Trumpet
sequel
probably
to
would be
Trumpet.
coming back. So
somebody
I-
talked about spiders.
God, light hit the
And like
uniform,
all the
and it hurt.
candlelight and lanterns just seem to hit Butt Trumpet's clothes, and there are little rays of light going everywhere. And suddenly you hear some ABBA in the background, just playing a song that you hadn't heard before.
And Gaius kicks off some thaumaturgy, which causes all the candles to start flickering and getting brighter and lighter, and flicker off and on for some ambiance. And then there's also like some light applause in the background that he casts also with thaumaturgy, because as Butt Trumpet walks, he sees Butt Trumpet walking and just is like, if I could do a disco ball, I would, but I can't. So this is as best as it gets.
Well, you don't really need a disco ball because Butt Trumpet
They gotta.
is kind of at the moment with their outfit basically a disco ball and platform shoes.
Quick, somebody cast levitate on them.
Eldred. That's not in my wheelhouse. Hey,
It is
can't
good
you
to
make
see you,
people
Butt
fly?
Trumpet. How is Mr. Marner and Richie?
Mr. Marner is indisposed. We will have a lot to talk about.
You disposed of
party?
Mr. Marner?
No,
Reed,
Reed.
no. Hey,
Mr.
here's
Marner
a
was
cupcake.
drunk. He needed to rest.
Oh.
He was
So what do-
indisposed.
we've been talking too because we're pretty much screwed here. So what have you found out?
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you about what the mayor just did. About
Yeah.
a minute later, we have now cut back in, and he said that.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you guys are fucked.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Quite aware.
But, hold on. Real quick, can I do a perception check? I want to make sure no one's looking at us.
Not
Wouldn't
directly.
want to draw attention to myself.
So, yeah, Bob forbid.
So the
Nobody's
answer
looking.
is
Okay, well,
the
that
question
did
isn't
nothing.
the question isn't are they looking at us? The question is how long have they been looking? Because Butt Trumpet's arrival definitely turned heads, you know?
Right. As soon as
And
Butt
also
Trumpet
they-
walked in, and like just light little speckles of light start dancing around the room everywhere you look. And you
So,
know,
Paul, how many of the villagers have been affected by the blind status at this point?
it's momentary blindness periodically around the room, but just for short periods of time. No one's having seizures, no.
Oh, good.
You know, since I can't tell that I'm oblivious to the attention I draw to myself, but I very subtly kind of pull half of the little book from my vest and say, let's just say one of my theories was correct. And I slip
Which
it
one?
back in.
The
Give
other
me
diary thing.
Oh,
Secret diaries.
You stole it?
Give
Good
me
job.
give me. I did not steal it. I found it, and Richie let me take it.
Oh, nice.
And
Where
that
did you
is not
find
all
it?
that I found. So,
What else are you sliding out of your ensemble?
I wish there. I wish there was more.
Sorry. Well, that wasn't
Anyway.
that funny. Okay.
It's
That
a
was a
brand new
joke,
car. No,
I'm just curious.
All right. So seriously.
I just like using big words. Okay. Anyway.
Shh, 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 shh. Okay.
I'm positioned.
So, I'll go into detail later. There's too many people around, but basically, there is a little area in the barn near where Richie stayed, where Veronica would go to take a nap. Under the cot was a false panel in the floor, and in there was a chest. The chest had this diary and a bunch of jewelry. Old, jewelry. He wouldn't let me take that. He seemed to be very worried about what Veronica would do if she found out.
That makes no sense.
I know, we will go over that. But
Interesting.
he did let me take this. He did let me take the diary. You give me tonight to go over it, and I can. You give me tonight to go over it, and I'm sure next time we talk about it, I can summarize it.
In your interactions with Mr. Marner and Richie, is there anything you learned that would be applicable to us asking questions here at this party?
Mm,
Any extra insights you've gained that would help us right now before, like, granted, you've probably found a lot of great information for later on, but anything that would help us while we're here? New
We'll put
people
it
to
this
talk
way.
to. Mm.
I have to be very careful with how I say this, but I alluded to Richie. He seemed to catch on that we needed to sort of throw the formality out the window. It's abundantly clear each and everyone in this town just about has a reason to dislike Silas Marner. And he seems to be the type of businessman who, let's say, it's kind of like an ambulance chaser situation. Not that that's surprising to any of us. It's nothing that we don't already know.
He exploits people in moments of weakness.
Pretty much what we've already theorized.
Listen, in the end, I think the best way to reach these people is we're looking for a missing girl.
Yep.
That's what it comes down to. We don't. I mean, to be quite honest, I don't give a crap about Silas Marner as long as he signs a document that says we did our whatever to get paid for the job. In reality,
That
I
probably
don't
wouldn't
really
be a
care.
bad idea to use as your motivator
Yeah.
when talking to
That's-
people, to be honest. And
Yeah.
I'm just going to say real quick, I know none of you are going to really use this, but Richie seemed kind of concerned of anything getting back to him. Or him being dragged into the situation as being the one to have given us information. So obviously I know we wouldn't use him as a direct quote, but
No,
for
no.
whatever reason, he wants to be left out of it. And we can go over that later, because I think I kind of know.
That's a good idea. I think from the approach, especially with Mayor Foots in Mouth, we should clarify when we talk to people that this is coming from a place like this is anonymous. We heard what the mayor said. We don't agree with what he said. If they feel like helping us, it will be anonymous. Nobody will know they helped us, and we won't say where we got the information from. And we'll be telling the mayor, no matter what we get, that the townspeople were helpful. We never told them that they weren't helpful. We'll be honest with them. Be like, what we told the mayor was, we noticed that there was hostility between you guys and Silas Marner. So if he misinterpreted that, which is
No,
exactly
I'm
what happened.
pretty sure I said they wouldn't help us because of it. That part where you were meditating.
Oh dear. Well,
But
I didn't
that
say
doesn't
it, so I can,
mean
in
that.
full honesty, say that without
Yes.
blinking an eye or lying. Nikita, you
This is
can't.
true.
Oh,
I know.
this is another thing.
Yes, much of it.
I wondered if Veronica had anything to do with the way Silas carried himself, like with the Jangle farm and everything.
Oh, yeah, because she was pissed at the daughter.
Richie said
Oh,
Mr. Marner doesn't take orders from anyone other than Mr. Marner. So he does not believe that he would do something just because his daughter told him to.
now I could believe that if his daughter dropped a hint that the farm was in trouble, he would jump on that and try to exploit that fact.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
wouldn't shock me for a moment.
I mean, if I hate to think of Veronica and Negative Lake because we've never even met the child, but she knows her father well, and she would probably, I would hope, know her father well enough that dropping a hint like, "Oh, such and such's farm is having a hard time and they need money." I mean, I told the guy is missing his daughter. We dropped information that Worthington died, and in less than 24 hours, he was trying to purchase the property and stuff. It wouldn't surprise me. He's
That's the well. I think I might know why he hurried over there too. That seems to be
why?
the most. That seems to me the most vulnerability he's been able to take advantage of in like the last year.
Oh, so no one else has been in trouble?
It didn't really sound much like that. I mean, except for oh, what was the family's name? Right before, a few months before, off the table, Mr. G. What
Ackerman,
was
Green,
the family
Fairfax.
name? What was the family name of the people who were more? Who were the people who Silas talked to over a year and a half ago?
Was that the Thatchers?
The Thatchers. Yes. Thank you.
You betcha.
Yeah, the last family that had been struggling and needing assistance for over a year, up until the Worthingtons. So he might have been going through a dry spell.
Well, businessmen like that are vultures. They just pick over the bones of the weak and dying. But
But
I don't necessarily want to get distracted by that
Ah.
because, yes, Silas's business practices are making it more difficult for us to figure out what is going on. The fact that you, Bud Trumpet, found some items of interest could hint at. I got to ask you, did they look family heirloomish?
They were very old, so if they had been in someone's family a while, I think so. And they were clearly Veronica's because Richie said Veronica would kill me if her things were missing or if I knew or if she knew that I was letting people touch her things.
He said specifically kill.
I think he was exaggerating and being hyperbolic, but like she'd have my head and things like that. It
is
seems that
getting more
Veronica
twisted.
was very persuasive.
what does that mean?
Well, I was gonna hold off until later, but frankly, we're here. Veronica would really take advantage of Richie's loyalty to working there and basically make him do any little task that she was assigned. And he wouldn't tell me why. But he either knew about him or was holding something over his head or could pretend that something was over his head that wasn't. All he said was Veronica can be very persuasive.
Remember the girls said, or hopefully we told you, the girls said Veronica only recently or something, the last few months or within a year, been getting rides from Richie. How long had he been doing her chores?
Seems like once she got older. So, could have been the last couple of years.
Did he seem to have does he like her? Like, is he?
Honestly, it didn't seem like it was anything affectionate. It just seemed more like he was afraid. I know.
I have a nugget of an idea. We're probably looking very suspicious. We should probably go make anonymous requests of people.
I'll shake my groove
What?
thing in the middle of the dance floor.
A lot of people they'd probably expect me to go get more food, so I'm gonna do that.
Do that.
I walk like Bernie into the middle of the dance floor.
Oh dear God.
Hero.
So Talia, I guess, is there any way you think you can help out with the information download you just got from the party?
I don't see exactly what more I could contribute specifically. I just
Well, how about this? Is
how much
there
farther talking to get it.
is there people in town that would confide in you more so than us? No.
I doubt it. I guess I could try, but I don't really think that
How's your
anyone-
schmoozing ability?
Huh?
Your schmoozer. It's a term meant to talking and charming people.
I think
It's a
she's
word.
about as good as I am.
Oh dear.
I don't make a habit of trying to charm anyone. I just I think you're underestimating how close I am to people
Yes,
of this town.
Nikita.
I
First
don't
word
mean to
sounds like
interrupt Thalia. I was just, we haven't sent Reed to feed his rabbit, and no one has gone to check on Mr. Goodreed. Perhaps Reed would like to feed his rabbit, and maybe Thalia could check on Mr. Goodreed?
oh yeah,
Sure.
that thing we worked out from earlier.
I could help look around for Mr. Goodtree, see if there's any
You're-
signs of someone wandering around a place different than
You're a,
normal.
you're a sneaky individual, like Reed. Quiet.
More so than us.
Light enough on my feet, I guess.
Hey Reed, take the drumstick out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Does it make a
Have you
plopping
shoved
noise?
enough? Have you shoved enough food in your pockets to feed your rabbit?
I might need a little more, but sure.
Definitely stock up, but then definitely
Yeah.
feed your rabbit.
And as you
Right.
say this, you can tell that Reed's pockets, like in places that you didn't even know he had pockets, are all bulging.
How to discover all of the rogue's secret pockets.
Right.
I get stuff with you.
Rogues invented parachute pants.
Reed looks
So-
like, he's probably added on 25% of his additional weight.
Like, when do you plan to finish eating all of that before it goes bad?
The
You
trick
never
is
know when
never-
you need some pocket food. Hmm.
the trick
It's
is
a
he never
constant
stops.
thing with him.
Okay. Okay.
So,
I guess the rabbit will
Gaius
enjoy
Gaius
some of
leans
that.
over to Nikita. I can't remember. Was Talia there for the meeting part where the code was established for feeding the rabbit means go to investigate stuff?
Yes.
Shit, you know. Yeah, okay. Yes, Talia, do you mind? Reed probably needs a hand with feeding the rabbit.
I got enough food
Nikita
for
and
you
I,
to-
experts in schmoozing, will continue to.
I'm going
Make
to need
names for
another
ourselves
shot of the mayor's 20-year-old
Ooh.
stone liquor. That was really good stuff. Totally
Wait, you
cleared the
drank a
muffin.
what now?
Nikita
20-year-old
and Gaius are
stone
gonna
liquor.
schmooze. You're gonna
Well,
schmooze.
Butt
Gaius-
Trumpet's here. Butt Trumpet's here to help, and
Butt
Eldrid's
Trumpet
here to
is in the
do
middle of the
opposite.
floor, like dancing.
Yeah, that's how you schmooze.
And they've got this crowd around them trying to imitate the dance. And like Butt Trumpet it's kind of like a circle thing, and every now and then one of the members of the village will kind of wander in and dance with Butt Trumpet, and they'll spin around and go out, and somebody else will come in, and
If I can get enough people like linked up in a circle, I want to try and get like the wave going on.
you can do that.
Excellent. Would you like me to roll a performance check?
I certainly would.
Good much, Jeffy. Come on, another nat 20. Come on.
No!
Okay, so what happens, Butt Trumpet, is you get them doing the wave, but there is no coordination with it at all. So people don't really they're not understanding how it works. So there's
So it
bits of
wasn't book
wave.
club.
Yeah, it kind of there's bits going off here and there, and people think they're
Oh.
looking really great, and then there's other people just kind of standing, going, looking lost, and
It's okay. What matters is we're having fun.
Come on, Ty.
Right,
We'll
guys.
feed the bunny.
Feeding the bunny. Oh my. Just she's rubbing her eyes after having stared directly at Butt Trumpet for like 0.3 seconds too long.
You fool!
It's like looking at the sun.
Exactly.
Gaius
Directly
passes
at
over
it.
some eye drops. There. It's guys.
Butt Trumpet spins around, and it's almost like 1,000 little spotlights lighting up all the walls and the ceiling in the room. Okay, so Reed and Talia take off.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to. On the way out, I just want to look around and see if I see Sunny Day anywhere.
Give me a perception check.
Nyeh. Not too great.
And I'd like to look for anyone making note of if anyone's making note of our departure.
Okay, give me a perception check. You notice a little old lady look at you as the two of you leave, and she looks at you both and smiles, and towards you, Talia, she gives you a great big wink.
Oh God! Talia starts walking faster.
What's the matter? Did you see Sunny Day? Come on. Let's go.
No. I think we should just go before anyone sees us.
Okay.
We're going. We're going.
Okay.
Okay, so Nikita and Gaius,
Yes.
what are you
And
doing?
Eldred.
And Eldred.
Eldred there too.
You
we
look,
almost-
Eldred is actually in the circle around Butt Trumpet going,
Okay, we're the most swapped. All right, well, he's gone. So
he's
Yeah.
he's one of the ones that can't seem to understand what he's supposed to do and get in the coordination. He's just
He
kind of,
just keeps
but
his
he's,
arms up the whole time.
yeah, he's just like,
He's ruining the dance.
well, he's not the only one.
Yeah.
They don't seem to understand this dance, so.
Can we go over the questions again? I've
Well,
had lots of brain
we-
trails.
okay, specifically, any the whereabouts of Mr. Goodry. We kind of answered the family heirlooms question, but we could still ask and see if we get any additional information about maybe somebody
We could-
saw something or when it happened.
Do you think there's a connection between? Was it said that the ones who lost the heirlooms were the oldest families?
I do not know. So that
Just-
is something
okay.
we could potentially
I will
look
ask
into.
that then.
Yes. And then the Lord Mitchner, their service people. So it seems like if they're hiring extra folk, if Marna was trying to impress someone, the seamstress is aware of them because that's where Butt Trumpet's ensemble came from.
Ah.
So maybe asking her in particular about it or somebody else in town. I could double down on the family heirlooms, see if they know of Mr. Goodry and have any impressions upon them. But also, I think if I'm going to focus on the townsfolk, the
Mm.
families that are influential, powerful,
Ah.
I think I might come at them from an angle, maybe it's like, I hear that the mayor is originally, his family's from town, but he's not. Maybe if I go digging for dirt on him from them, they might be a little bit more willing to open up, and then I can work that angle, perhaps. I don't know. And then turning around and looking at Butt Trumpet and Eldred. Okay, they have whatever that is.
All right,
Well,
That's
let's
what
line
you were
dance.
doing
This will help
before.
everybody. To the left. Take it back now, y'all. Out this time. Right then,
I
that's
taught
down.
them. I taught them how to samba earlier. You pull that one out too.
Cha-cha now, y'all. Turn it out. Carry on.
Don't attempt the foxtrot. Someone hurt themselves earlier.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I
I
think
will-
if we work those angles, Nikita, it's a
Da.
potential avenue we can do.
I like this.
Okay. So
How
we'll go
much
with
magic do you want? How much magic do you want to help on this? You need some magic help?
You could make me charismatic?
I can help you be charismatic, yes. Think of me as oh god, I can't use that word.
Fairy
your magic-
godfather.
No, damn it! I was trying to avoid that. Sorry.
It's right
your
behind.
your magic Gaius thing, and just pulls out a stick that he has in his pocket, usually for Loki, and just whacks you on the head because there's a feather
Woohoo!
attached to it. It's like, you're now more charismatic. I fear what I've done to the world.
So Eagle
You now have
Splendor?
advantage. Yeah, you have advantage.
Okay.
And then whack myself in the head. I'm like, oh, okay, teammate. We have an hour of being extra charismatic. Let's go.
Let's
and
do this.
try not to screw this up.
we'll go with Nikita first.
Okay. I
Send
have
in.
brought evil upon this world, and I don't know what I've unleashed.
So Nikita, tell me what you are looking to accomplish and what you are looking to find.
I would like to ask about Mr. Goodry. What does he look like? Could we help look for him as well, since we're already looking for someone missing? Where, Mr. Goodry? Ah, yes. Did they ever work for Mr. Marner at his place with a party, perhaps with a Lord Mitchner? I didn't discuss this with Gaius, but I would like to ask about the blue cat.
Give me a investigation check. You have it with advantage, right? Okay.
I have no idea how Eagle Splendor works.
Well, we'll give you advantage. So
Well, one of
Okay.
them was.
no, that's good. That was good. Okay, so let's go through these things one at a time.
Okay.
Start from the beginning. Oh, do you need something, my dear?
Yes. Can I see what is on their platter, or do they hold a platter? What are
Yeah,
glasses?
it looks like a large leg of venison that's been roasted.
We had heard while we were asking around, if you don't mind me asking, Mr. Goodry. Do you know him?
Oh yes. He's down at the end of the row, a little off from the
Right.
other houses.
And his wife just sadly passed, did she not?
About a year ago, yes. It was very sad. It was
We
very
have
sad
heard-
for him because they were very close.
That is, I'm sure they were together a long time, so they had a strong bond.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen him recently?
I haven't, but I haven't seen him for a long time, actually.
Oh,
But-
really?
Yeah. He kind of didn't come out a lot after his wife died. He kind of stayed to himself. For a while there, people were taking him food and such and
Oh,
everything.
good.
But
Ah.
then he seemed to be doing okay and seemed to be in better spirits. We thought he would be kind of getting out and doing things again, but he didn't. But then within the past year, just heard from a number of different people, not too many, just a couple, that they've seen him out and about, but always in the middle of the night, just kind of wandering about.
That seems rather odd, but maybe that's just me. I don't know if he used to take night walks.
I don't know about that, but I do. What I've been told by people I know is that when you're older and you lose someone very close to you, you know, it can really cause a lot of problems with your sleep. So that seems to be what people figures going on there.
while we are looking for this girl, we could probably also keep our eyes out for Mr. Goodry. What did he look like?
Older gentleman, longer graying hair, large brown eyes, usually dressed pretty sharply. Had some nice suits, I seem to remember.
Did he have a beard or no? Any facial hair?
I don't think so. Although I
Okay.
haven't seen him in a long time, so he could have grown one.
This is true. He might have grown something. Duh. Older men with their beards can look rather dapper, duh?
Oh, I guess. I guess it has to be your taste.
True. This is true. They have to take care of them properly. Okay, I will try to keep an eye out for him. I'm hoping we can also possibly go by his house. Do you know if anyone's like gone in, checked he's not?
I know people have knocked on the door, but it's kind of no one's gone in or anything because that's just kind of frowned upon. You don't go into people's houses without
Oh.
invitation.
Oh, I see. That is very good to know. So you would be upset. We should not just go into his house to look for him then.
If you want, if you give it a try, I mean, I can't speak for you.
Gotcha.
It's just
No,
considered good manners.
No, of
you know.
course. And I understand that. My concern is where I come from, people can sometimes, like in mines, the dwarves that mine, they can die on the other side of a mine and you don't find them till you go looking. You know what I mean? Have you say at Silas's house, Mr. Marner?
Mr. Marner doesn't really have parties, but he occasionally would have guests and such.
Do you or would you know if Mr. Marner had a guest named Lord Mitchner?
Nikita, what I'm going to say is this. The answers you're getting are from you speaking to a number of them get led to another person who says that they were there.
Okay.
And they do remember Lord somebody, but they don't remember the exact name. But what they
Okay.
remember most is there seemed to have been not an argument, but definitely a raising of voices. The guests seemed incredibly offended by something that Mr. Marner, who had been drinking a lot all night, did or said. They don't know what it was, but whatever was going on, they called it off and they left. And
Oh dear.
they don't know that they ever came back because they were only there that night. But
Duh.
they didn't get the gist of what exactly occurred, other than Mr. Marner did something that was not well received at all.
Interesting. Spasiba. I appreciate that. So I would also, in general, like to comment, have they seen the pretty blue cat?
Ah, we have seen the cat. The cat was here when I came here.
Oh, really?
The cat just kind of wanders around. It's a little I don't know. It just kind of seems to have its own personality and does what it wants.
It definitely does. I am very fond of this cat, you see. This is why I'm asking about it. Do you know, is it anyone's cat? Does it visit one house in particular that maybe feeds it?
That I have no idea. It just is always about and seems to do what it wants. Most of the cats that wander around town, I don't think they belong to anyone.
Oh,
They
interesting.
just kind of, I don't know, they just seem to, some have favorite places where they like to spend time. Others are kind of have a couple different places they go.
Have you noticed there are some places they absolutely do not go?
Yeah, they kind of stay to town and those areas.
Very interesting.
And, the houses at the bottom of the hills.
Duh. Yeah, we have found actually it's so adorable, the little blue cat. I hope it likes me too because it's been following us. I don't know what to do with the cat, but it is so pretty. But it's been following us, and when we came up here tonight, it didn't follow all the way. It was very odd.
Hmm. Well, I know some of people I know think that the cat spends time with you or follows you, that it's good luck.
Oh, really? I
That's
have
what a
not
couple
heard
people
that.
believe. I don't know what it's based on, but I've heard it.
Hmm.
So
No, I
perhaps you have
certainly
good
hope
luck in your
so.
future.
Oh, we would definitely love to have good luck finding Veronica and Mr. Goodry too. Hopefully, he is
Well, I hope that I hope it's true then.
that it's good luck. Da,
Yes.
yes, very much so. Spasiba, thank you very much.
Is there anything else? Anything else you wanted to ask?
No, actually, that was it.
Yes, it is my turn, and I'm going to, I guess, kind of just bowl my way. Like, if there's clumps of people, kind of just going in and talking to whoever.
Okay, here's what we're going to do, Gaius.
mhm.
Give me a investigation check.
But with a nat 20, you're good at anything. So
Well,
give me the person with all the information, please.
well, here's the way we're going to do it. We're going to You're going to tell me who you're looking to speak to, and we're going to say what we're going to do is we're going to go through that you've spoken to a number of these people,
Gotcha.
and we're then going to go through your questions, and
Mhm.
it may have taken a couple people to get an answer, but rather
Yeah.
than go person to person to person to person, we'll
Repeating
deal with
myself.
it. We'll deal with it all at once. How's that?
Sounds good. So I think I'll start off with Minnie Castavetes, the seamstress. Basically, I'm going to her first because she's the one that provided the dress or
Okay.
whatever
The outfit.
the outfit and knows of Lord Mitchner.
Okay.
So using that as the social introduction.
Okay.
Yeah, so using her as like the jumping off point to maybe figure out who might the old families be or who may or may not have lost heirlooms. Also kind of like looking into Goodtree, and also maybe occasionally if I'm having a good rapport with a person, maybe drop the Baba off at some point. Like if I'm feeling like the conversation's ending, to see if
Okay.
anyone has a reaction to the bringing up of the Baba
Okay.
before I move on, just to get a feel for the town and their thoughts upon that as well. That's how he is approaching it.
Great. Okay. So you find Miss Castavetes.
Ah, Miss Castavetes, I hear you are to blame for the light show that Butt Trumpet is currently doing around the dance floor at the moment.
I think blame is not the right word you're looking for. I think it's thank you,
I jest.
because I think
I
your
jest
little
with-
blue friend looks fabulous.
I also agree. That's why I did the whole candlelight and applause thing. By the way, I am Gaius here with our friends here. And can I apologize in advance for the mayor? Because I don't know where the hell that came from. He is
He's a lot of
legitimately.
things, young man.
He thought he was helping, and he could not have made things worse, in my personal opinion. Because all that I'm here for is finding the location of a girl. That's what I've been hired to do, and nothing else. And I feel like we're some kind of secret police force now for him, or something. The way he was making it, it was not good, to say the least.
Well, it would be on brand for him to
I'm
take that
starting
approach.
to get that. I'm starting to get that. So I have a question, Miss Castanedes. The
Those are very
ensemble
nice
that-
raiments you have there.
Oh, well, thank you. It's I try it. It's the formal, casual kind of thing you have to have at a party, not to stand out, but to be noticeable is kind of a balance that we have to do as Balkans. Either that or we strip completely naked, but that's a different step in a different type of party.
I would
Not
say
necessarily
so.
my
I
jam.
don't think they have those kind of parties here in Forest Grove.
Nope, I'm finding in this area it is not the standard. So,
Yeah. Part of me
hence,
says, thank
fine
goodness,
raiment.
because my living is clothing. But there is a part of me that says, maybe a shame as well.
Oh, well, clothing is just a good accent and ensemble, and then it uh, adds to it because when it comes, and ultimately in these things, when they come off, you want to be appreciated for what you're wearing first. You draw the eye with the clothing. You don't want to necessarily just walk around the nude all the time.
Well, young man, I hate to say it, but some of us have to be appreciated for what we're wearing because without it, no one wants to see that.
Well, everybody's got what they like. I'm not going to shame or say anything negative about anyone's particular brand of looks, to say the least. Everybody is somebody's flavor.
Oh, I like
But
that. That's a nice phrase.
yes,
Also gives me hope.
literally that might have been divine intervention for all that I know. So Miss Castavetes, that sparkle that Bud Trump is currently wearing.
Isn't that
I
amazing?
hear, yes. I must say that is something that I would have expected more in Seven Rivers, like Cloud.
Can't say I'm
Like,
surprised.
Bud Trump mentioned that this was for a daughter of a well-to-do lord.
Yes.
Mr. Mitchner, I believe, or sorry,
Lord
Lord Mitchner.
Mitchner.
So, obviously, he requested your services and all that. I was curious. Do you know anything about why him and his daughter just up and left town at all? Was that
I can't say that I have any idea why they left. All I can say is they paid for it in advance and they provided most of the material and the stones and all of the sparkly
really?
bits. Oh, yeah.
that is unusual? Usually, people of that, I find they go one of two ways. They're very fast and loose with their money, or they hold on to it with like an iron fist.
Well, while I haven't had much to do with Mr. Marner or his family, and I don't know if it was him, but I can only assume because I don't know who else would have said this, but
Yes.
Lord Mitchner said they had heard about my talents, or that his daughter had, and wanted me to do the work. So they brought all the things that they didn't think we would have here in Forest Grove, and just left me to it, and paid for everything in advance, and paid quite well, I might say. But
That might
then
have
all of a
been
sudden, never saw them again.
that might have been Veronica. I mean, she worked in your shop, or I shouldn't say worked in your shop. She was with the girls that worked in your shop.
This is true.
She might have recommended. I'm assuming you made some items and stuff for Veronica over the years.
On occasion, just simple
So,
stuff. Because,
but she was
here in Forest Grove,
Where-
we don't exactly have to-dos like this here. I mean, this is a
no,
rarity.
yes, no.
We'll be
Understandable.
talking about this for years.
Oh, that's good.
And probably all of you, actually.
Well, we're nothing special. As what particular move is Butt Trumpet doing now? Do you think, Paul?
I would say the worm.
Ripping me off. Got you. Okay. Yes, I showed Bud Trumpet how to do that one. So you don't know anything that happened with Mr. Mitchner. I was curious, Ms. Castavetes. Despite the fact that we were brought here on behalf of the Marner family, I'm here to find a girl.
So you said.
And yes, well, that's what I'm here for. Not what I'm saying, it's what I'm here for. And despite the mayor seeming to, in his best efforts to undermine that particular effort, I was curious. Is there anyone on your side of the river, if you will, amongst the families of Forest Grove that are more influential than others or have more say? I don't know if like the Sunny Days are more popular or if it's the Worthingtons or someone that I need to approach to and talk to. I'm just trying to paint a picture of what could have happened to Veronica. And as I have said to others, if there's, say, someone of influence, other people in town will go talk to that person about things that are either of interest or whatnot, that they might be a good place to go and ask questions. I don't care who they are. I won't be saying where I got information of. Oh, by the way, I don't know where the mayor got on his high horse about it. I'm not saying whether the town folk are helping me or not. The only thing I can honestly remember saying to the mayor was that I noticed there was a bit of tension between Mr. Marner and the rest of town, which, let's be honest, he is an overly aggressive businessman, and that is probably the most
And
polite thing I can say about him. I was trying not to say anything impolite about him, but yes, Miss Cassavetes, you get the point I'm trying to get across.
Yes.
I am doing a job, not even for him, but for the Baron. I don't have to like the man. And let's be honest, to be quite honest, my job is a good job. I'm trying to find a missing girl. I'm not here to unearth any kind of secrets. I just need to know where the girl is and make sure she's brought back to her father. If she leaves her father again after the fact, I don't care.
Yeah.
But as long as I know she's safe and sound, I'm just curious if there's anyone I should talk to in town that could help me more than others. I don't want to go bother everybody and interrupt them. Like, this party is all well and good, but let's be honest, it was very awkward earlier. And then there was the thing with the fight and the fact that
That was unfortunate too.
I had to also fix some things after the fact. But needless to say, I can understand why the townsfolk and commiserate that they don't like Mr. Marner. They can hate him and hate his guts. I don't care about that. I just want to make sure that his daughter, from people we've consulted with, I've gotten the implication she is alive.
Someone
But not
knows
in
that
town.
she's alive?
We were using magic. So I have consulted with some of the magic users in town, and needless to say, we were given hints that she is at least alive, not in town, not amongst the people necessarily. But I need help from the town. Who knows best what's around here? I don't want to step into something accidentally and make a problem for the town, or have my friends do the same thing. I want to be able to talk to somebody to give me the right kind of guidance to help me find the girl and leave town with no other problems.
Understood. As far as a number of the menfolk go, I don't know how much sway he still holds, but Oliver over there from the inn used to have a lot of the menfolk come around the inn, and they used to always look to be plotting something over and over again. But
So Mr. Sunnyday, he doesn't like me calling him Oliver.
well, there is respect your elders, young man. You know that is a thing. So
Oh, well, it's less less of it's not a disrespect the elders kind of thing. It just in my line of work, like if we're talking about respect, I try to approach things more casually to make it easier to talk to people about things, because I've had people call me father and all those other titles, but I want them to feel more at ease. But once I found out that Mr. Sunnyday preferred being called that, I did it. I have no problem doing that. I didn't know that's what he preferred. So,
You said something about Magic saying she was alive, but not something.
oh, but she is not amongst people. So I'm
Uh,
assuming not around townsfolk.
I would,
So it's not in
unless
someone's
maybe it's,
basement.
oh, maybe, yeah. Unless they're like it's an empty basement, but I don't know if that how magic works. Well, then if it's outside of town, you want to talk to that huntress girl, the one
Talia?
who, her, yes. And no one around here knows the stuff outside of the town better than her.
Mm, understandable. Understandable. So I guess, Miss Castavetes, do you have any like families or like patriarch or matriarch of a family that you recommend I talk to potentially to help point me in the right direction or
Uh,
anyone like that?
Mr. Sunnyday seems to fit into what you were talking about. I would have said the Worthingtons because their business is so successful, but now's not a good time to talk to them. Um,
Oh, I know I brought them the bad news. Well, it's I may approach them. Well, I offered my services to assist with the funerals if they so chose. So
right.
I might just go and double check on them to see if they need it. If not, I probably won't bother them. It's a time of grieving. It's private. So, Mr. Sunnyday, the Worthingtons,
Yeah.
anyone else? I hear the mayor is originally, his family is originally from here. Is
Oh
that
yeah.
true?
Yeah. Yeah. Family's been here for ages.
Oh God, the Mayor Calhoun, is that his first or his last name? I kind of just
Last.
was interested. Calhoun. So are there any other Calhouns still left in town, or is it just basically him now?
Just him now, I think.
So I am aware that there was some kind of theft with the mayor or some such thing, but I
Oh, I
also
don't know
heard.
anything about
Uh,
that.
oh no, this is not about that. It's kind of related, not actually related to that. I heard that some from in town itself that some people might have been missing family heirlooms. Did you hear anything about that?
A while back, I heard about there were some thefts, but that's really about it.
Okay, well, yeah, so that is I believe what I'm talking about. Like I said, we're the way we're approaching this is because we have no idea where the girl went. We're kind of just seeing what has happened in the town in the past like couple months or year or so.
No, I'll tell you, it was strange to hear because we don't usually have crime here in Forest Grove. I mean, every now and
Oh
then,
no.
people have a little bit too much to drink or get a little rambunctious, the young people, and there's some fights. Other than
Or
that,
or you have a stranger come into town and they might be the one to take something, but I mean, you would be aware of that kind of
mhm.
thing. It's a small community, so yes, it's understandable that it would be strange that there was a couple thefts. And but do you happen to know who had anything taken from them back then? Obviously, I'm assuming not yourself. Otherwise, you would have mentioned it.
Ghidorah, I think, had something taken.
Ghidorah.
Ghidorah
Does
Fairfax.
well, why? Thank you, Miss Castavetes. Oh, this is kind of off the cuff here. Are you aware of Mr. Goodry at all?
Oh, is he the one whose wife used to make that awesome, amazing punch?
Yes, yes.
I know about the
Uh,
punch.
okay, so you
That
know about the
stuff was
punch.
delicious
Yes. Okay. So but
and
you don't know
strong.
him personally. Or anything.
Oh no.
Yes. This is more of a personal interest for me because I enjoy studying cultures and new areas. Specifically, I'm curious: is there any folklore or old stories about Forest Grove or the area that you think would be interesting? Like
The kids talk about a witch in the woods sometimes, but that's really about all I've ever heard.
that's about yeah, the magical waterfall. But Witch in a Wood, that's a good one. That's I can't tell you how many times I've heard that. But that's about it then.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, I thank you for your time, Mrs.
Oh, you're very
Castaneda.
welcome. Like I said, I love the
I,
colors of your outfit.
oh, well, thank you. You know, it's kind of a team uniform, if you will.
She goes, well, if the rest of the team needs uniforms, you let me know. And she
Oh,
scoops
well,
up a
most
piece of
certainly.
cake and takes another thing of punch and smiles at you and excuses herself to go talk to another woman that caught her attention. She kind of patters off. Did you have other questions for like the general populace?
I think I'll save the Fairfax. I assume that's like the mother or whatever
Mm-hmm.
for a different time.
I'll tell you
A
what,
sunny
if you
days
want, you can find her there.
Yeah.
Because you rolled a 20, we'll say that you found her
Okay.
there.
Okay. Yeah. So just quickly going up to
No problem.
the Miss. Are you Miss Fairfax?
Yeah.
Pardon my interruption. I was sadly introduced in a less than stellar way by the mayor. I'm Gaius. No other titles need to be applied.
She just goes,
I was
yeah.
I was curious. During my research, obviously, we're here to look for the missing girl. That is really all we're doing. But I had also heard that something might have been stolen from you.
Yeah. Where'd you hear that?
Well, here's the thing. You know how the mayor said if you don't blah blah blah, he will be stern. I don't I don't do that. If somebody provides me with information, I don't say who. All that I know is certain members of the town had lost some important things.
I don't know about
I
anybody
don't
else, but I lost my great 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 grandmother's combs.
interesting. Well, the reason why I bring this up, Miss Fairfax, is because we're really I've been hired by the Baron to just find the girl. And in our process we kind of stir up some stuff. I don't we're not looking to do anything with the town. We're not looking to spread anyone's secrets. But if we can also do some good, as for instance, like figure out what the hell happened to your combs, because apparently there are other folk in town that have lost important family heirlooms. This may or may not be related to the girl disappearing. Who knows? For all that I know, the girl could have took them.
You
Maybe on the
think
behalf of
a
someone
rich
else.
girl came into my house and took stuff? I mean, I know
Well,
the father has no problem taking whatever he can every chance he gets, but ah,
I'm not.
we got
I'm not
dogs.
saying
I
that.
don't think that girl could have gotten past old Ripper.
Really? So
Yeah,
okay. So you have dogs on the premises that would have helped stop that. That is
what
interesting.
torn her to
The reason
pieces?
why the reason why I asked, ma'am, is just because there are just some inconsistencies around here, and I just happened to hear that you were one of the people that had lost something, and the fact it
I
is
love those combs.
a precious family heirloom. And you, the Fairfaxes, I'm curious. Have you, as far as you know, I've always been from Forest Grove for the past couple of decades or generations?
I believe Arnold's family has been. Mine, I came here from up north.
Oh, okay. Well,
My family,
the
that is.
reason, yes, the reason why I ask is because stuff that have importance to people can sometimes, when it comes to magic, can have effects.
Magic.
I'm curious. Magic. I'm curious. Have the Fairfaxes have any issues recently? Good, bad, good luck, bad luck? Would you say?
Nothing, nothing worse beyond getting the invitation to this party, which seems like it's not meant to be a party at all.
Yeah. And once again, I apologize for that. That is neither our planning nor desire. I would have gladly just gone and knocked on doors and introduced myself. And if you didn't feel like talking to me, no harm, no foul. But
Young man. Speaking of no harm, no foul. I mean no offense, but
mhm.
I don't understand a hell of a word you're saying. Can you just kind of spit out what you're trying to find out from me, so I can?
Oh, certainly. It's the short of it is I wanted to know, basically confirm that something was stolen from me, which you did, and then I was curious about one other thing. If you had trouble in town, who amongst the townsfolk would you go to for help? I'm assuming it's not the bear. Basically, I'm looking for someone amongst the townsfolk that is trusted that I can talk to about these issues instead of bothering everybody.
Well, when the combs went missing, we did have to let the guards know because they're the ones who you're supposed
Mm,
to. But Arnold made sure to let Oliver know because Oliver seems to, you know, he.
care about the town.
I don't know that Oliver's really the caring type, but at
Hmm.
least not anymore.
Uh,
But he knows everybody because he has the inn.
Makes perfect sense.
Now
Well,
I
thank
want to
you.
tell you, these combs
Yes.
have been in my family for it. They're silver combs with mother of pearl inlays in the top. And
Hmm.
you find them. I want you to come see me right away. You just ask anybody; they'll tell you where to find me. Two
If I
combs,
find,
silver, mother of pearl inlays.
at which point, Guys takes out a notepad, writes it down. I have made note of that, Miss Fairfax. If I find them, they will be returned to you.
You come find me right away, and I'll make you dinner or something. I'll give you a reward or something. We'll find some. I
Sometimes,
really want those combs back. Only thing I
understood.
have from
I,
my family. My goddamn sister got everything else.
mm. Well, I understand, and thank you for your time.
Like I
At
said,
which
you
point,
find those combs, you come find me.
yes, ma'am. At which point he's done with the Fairfax. Is Oliver still around, or is he left?
He's amongst a group of guys on the patio having cigars and pipes and drinking, punch.
Mm. Okay. Guys saunters over,
Okay,
lighting up a pipe.
okay.
So, oh, Mr. Sunnyday, hail and well met.
Yeah.
Quite a party we're having here. One one fight for a distraction while Silas Marner got the crap kicked out of him, which, by the way, he was bad off. But the good news is
I
he's
can't
not.
speak to that, but okay.
Oh yeah, no, he's fine for now. But also found out some interesting information. Did you know that Silas Marner had a potential partner that him and his daughter disappeared in town? Mitchner, that god awful ensemble that Butt Trumpet is currently wearing, was for his daughter.
Short girl, really unpleasant looking.
I have no idea, to be quite honest with you.
Huh.
That could be it. But also, oh, did you know Mr. Goodry is missing currently?
I just know that his wife died about a year ago, and he's doesn't get out
Not
much
taking it
as since
well.
then. That I don't
Oh,
really.
apparently.
He never really came around the inn much.
Hmm, understandable. Well, apparently, you can't find him currently, which is just odd. Odd. Um.
Shame, but not my
Oh.
problem.
Oh no. No. Oh, one thing I do have to ask. I have heard that certain people in town have had certain family heirlooms go missing.
Yeah, I heard about thefts. Don't know
So
nothing
you heard it as
about
well?
any looms.
Oh no. Oh, sorry. Items of value that were like old
Ah,
heirloom. It's a different word for it. Neither here nor
okay.
there. I was curious, Mr. Sunny Day. From what I've gathered, your family is one of the older families in town.
He kind of narrows his eyes and says, "What are you getting at, boy?"
Well, if there's a bunch of old families in town that have stuff stolen, did anyone take anything from you?
Uh, this is my livelihood.
I'm assuming that is to thanks to Mr. Marner, I presume.
Yeah, that bastard would be the one.
Oh, listen, Mr. Sunny Day. I'm here literally just trying to find a girl. I don't give a shit about what else happens in town. If I can find the girl, bring it back to the dad, have him sign a slip of paper saying we did our job, she can walk the hell away from him after the fact. I don't care, really. Sadly, the best clues we have going right now, Mr. Sunny Day, is that I believe she might still be alive. She's not around people and leaning in so only he can hear me. We might have to talk with the Baba to find out more. At which point I'm doing an insight check on him while I drop that nugget on him.
Go ahead and roll me an insight.
19.
19 on an 11 for insight?
I am a 20 in wisdom and I am proficient in insight. So I have a +3 proficiency bonus, which is an 8.
Wow. Okay.
I'm a level 5. I'm a level 5 character.
I was there.
Listen, my other stats are garbage, but that one's good. That's all he does. Don't ask him to investigate unless I can cast magic before that.
You get the feeling that when you say that, there's a chill that goes up this guy's spine and his eyes just flare wide for a second. You get fear.
And I lean in and I'm like, Mr. Sunny Day, I don't want anything bad to happen in your town. I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want any of this. All I want to do is find a girl. But the problem is, if I don't find help in town, I'm going to go elsewhere. I have reached out to powers before and have been granted them. Obviously, I will go to the woods in the west if I need to.
He looks
Help.
at you and gives you a bit of a crooked smile, puts his hand on your shoulder and says, "You know, young man, it's always the same with you people from the big city."
I'm not from the big city. Mr. Sunny Day, I'm literally from a small town up north of here.
Well,
I'm looking for some help to find a girl.
you're talking about the daughter of the guy who took everything from me.
No, you're looking at this the wrong way. We're looking for a teenage girl. Someone who is not her father, not her mother. Let me tell you a quick story about a shithead teenager who fell in love and tried to woo a rich woman, went and did all the wrong things, tried to gamble to make money to impress her, even though she didn't want it. Then, after the fact, he just kept going for more money, more and more, because he's a stupid kid. That person had great parents. I can
You're saying
only
Silas
imagine-
Marner had great parents?
No. This person, it's me, all right? Sunny Day, it's me. I made a lot of terrible mistakes when I was a teenager. I have a bad feeling that this girl, who was not raised in a better environment than me, may have made some terrible decisions. If this Baba is a thing, God knows what kind of deal she may have made with it.
Then I think you need to go and see her.
You're really advising that.
That's what you think can answer that.
No, I'm asking for your help to see if there's any way we can save the girl without having to do that.
Well, I ain't a detective. I'm just an innkeeper. But what I could tell you probably is that if you narrow it down, and he looks around at his buddies and smiles, if you narrow it down to the people who had a grudge against Silas Marner, you probably
I pretty much
narrow
just
down
have the right.
your
It's
suspects.
the fucking right side of town at this point. But just because you hate the man, you would punish the child. Sunny Day.
I didn't take the kid.
I didn't say you did.
And I don't know
I
who
didn't say-
did.
And I'm not saying anyone on the side of town did.
I do
All
want to
that
know
I'm
how
asking-
you know about my wine, though.
Did I not tell you that I have talked with higher powers before, Mr. Sunny Day?
And they've been snooping on my wine?
Gods don't snoop. They know.
Any of you guys know how to protect against gods with your alcohol? I don't know.
Sunny Day. There's nothing to protect against. I don't listen. You got wine cellar. No, I don't care. If anything, I'm upset that I didn't get to taste some of it, because I'm sure you have a great selection down there. That's not the point. The point I was trying to get across was that I have these powers, my friend, and I'm not trying to abuse them.
But if there's a girl
might-
in danger, shouldn't you abuse your powers and do everything within your power to get her? Isn't that kind of what you're saying to me? Oh,
No, I'm not saying that. I'm trying to reach out to the community and ask for your assistance.
so you don't have to use your powers.
So I don't have to go to the Baba and ask for their assistance.
You say this now, comment, and the people around all are like, they kind of look at each other, and one of them's like, I think the missus is calling me. Yeah, I think I better check on mine too. She'll be drinking all the punch, eating all the cake, and then won't be able to get her through the fucking door. I'll help you with that. And they just all kind of wander off. And Sunny Day looks at you and goes, well, you certainly know how to clear a room, don't you?
Well, once again, you got me frustrated, Mr. Sunny Day. I am not.
Oh,
in this
I can tell
town-
you about frustrated.
Would you like to tell me about why you're frustrated, Mr. Sunny Day? Do you want to talk about what happened
I don't know you from Adam.
with Mr. Marner? The only way you know a person is if you have conversations with them.
Yeah, that's if you want to
just
get to
told
know
you-
them. I mean, I'm just an innkeeper. If I tried to get to know everyone who came through my doors, I'd have to deal with people. That's horrible.
I am extending an olive branch or a vine branch of grapes, whatever kind of euphemism you want to, whatever we want to use.
And I'm telling you, I don't know anything about where the girl is. I'm telling you, I don't know anything about how she disappeared, where she went, if she went, who she went. You're the one with the magical powers saying that you know that she's not around people and that she's wherever. I don't have magical powers. I got pint
Okay,
glasses and goblets.
Then, Mr. Sunnyday, there might be something you can help me out with. Then, tell me everything you know about the Baba.
I'm not talking about that. That's on you.
Can you? How about this? Can you at least tell me why? Why can't you share that info?
My life's miserable enough. I don't need to die on top of it. And probably in the
So
worst possible way.
So sharing information about this could get you killed.
That witch
That's what he
knows
said.
everything. That witch knows everybody. That witch, her reach is long. And I'm not going to play with that fire. Because I'm not just going to get burned. I'm going to end up playing dice in the 9 hells. And I ain't doing it. Now,
Okay.
I think our time is done here, sir. I didn't like you when you came in. I like you even less now. And I don't like too many people. But I have a real affinity
Not
for
sure.
my not liking of you at this point. So if you'll excuse me, good evening, Father. And he kind of
Well-
turns around and tosses his cigar on the ground in front of you and walks off.
Have a good evening, Mr. Sunnyday. You live up to your last name.
And with your 20 insight, you really riled him up and scared him significantly.
We can exploit that. I hope Reed and Talia are going to enjoy whatever that is going to stir up with them.
Okay,
done.
is there anything else you want to check
I
out?
think that was it.
Tell me what the two of you are doing.
I'm kind of start rushing because I don't know. I didn't see Sunny Day right on the way out.
No.
Or did I? I didn't
No.
see him right. So yes, I'm gonna start kind of rushing. You know, gotta keep up, tell you. You're probably faster than me anyway, but still.
You see his little feet going. Exactly.
I may or may not be dropping a pastry here or there as we rush.
It's like the Flintstones with Barney Rubble when he was in a hurry.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Alright, so we're hurrying back towards the inn, I guess?
Yes.
Okay, so you head to the inn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Takes you a little while. You get there, it's locked up tight.
Oh.
An expected obstacle.
Is there an outside entrance to the cellar?
We'll say yes.
Is it hidden enough that I'm not going to be like out in the middle of the street trying to open this thing up?
It is
Is it
out in the
around
middle of the street. It is like this inn has no cover whatsoever.
I'm gonna take a look around and see if anyone else is out or nearby or peeking from a nearby window or anything.
Give me a perception check. Okay. That's enough. You do see people like strolling about here and there. It looks like some people have kind of wandered out of the party and are wandering home and such. Just here and there.
Talia, I could try to get into my room and then, open a door from the inside.
Sure.
I'm really good at climbing.
I'll take your word for it, I guess.
I just need to ask, is this so that you can feed your rabbit?
Well, and we wanted to try to look at the
No,
walls.
we're not actually here to feed the rabbit, though I guess if he gets a treat or two free while he's breaking into his own room, that's
Okay.
a
Yes,
happy
and I
bonus.
could deposit all the food in the room as I go by.
Okay.
So if I can, I guess I'll go around to where my window would be. See if I can get up there and get in through the window.
Give
Can
me
you
a
give him a
dexterity
boost?
check, please. What was that, Talia?
Can I give him a boost?
Sure. Do it with advantage.
Okay. So that would be a what is
16.
that? 16. 16. Yep.
You make it up to the window without a problem.
Can I get in?
Did you lock it?
I don't honestly remember. Is there
After
like a
the
chance I
weird
locked
guy
it?
broke into your room?
We'll say the window's open.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have locked it if I was in there, but maybe not.
So I'm gonna hop in there. I'm gonna unload as much food as I can, except for a little treat that I'm gonna give to the bunny.
Okay, so you pile a big pile of all sorts of pastries and cakes and different types of, like, you got a little clump of salad filling your one pocket, and you've got like bits of meat in some other pockets, and some deep fried meat pies in another pocket, and
I had a pie pocket, awesome.
a pie pocket, which that one got a little bit crumpled.
The
And
I
for
do the
some
best I
reason,
can.
and for some
All the
reason,
money.
you put an open cup of punch in another pocket.
All right, so I load that up, like maybe on top of my bedroll or whatever, or
Okay.
There's a little table in the room. I'd use that, and then I want to go see if I can let Talia in the front door.
Okay, Talia could have easily gotten in your window with you because she
Oh,
climbs
you
just
wanna-
as pretty
You
well.
want to climb?
Because I thought she kind of
Okay.
was helping you up.
Yeah, she did help him up. I just didn't know how high up it was exactly.
Well, I was on the second floor, but you're
Okay.
you're a very astute climber as well. So I mean,
True. I could give it a try, yeah.
yeah, just go ahead.
Hello,
Roll me a
roll
dexterity, and with him helping you up the last bit by being able to pull you up, do it with advantage.
Advantage. Oh, thank God.
Don't say no.
It does say no.
So you, good job. You whip up there even faster than Reed did.
I didn't have to worry about like running into the window or anything like that. Just
Correct.
sort of vault in.
Right. So you get in there and you see a
Oh
pile
God, the bunny!
of crumpled up food on the bed, and whipped cream seems to be smeared over all sorts of stuff. And you get in there, and Reed's licking his fingers.
I didn't want to take all this downstairs.
Yeah, might want to rinse your hands off, wipe your hands off, so you're not leaving things sticky. Everything you touch sticky behind you.
Oh, good idea.
Okay. I use a bed sheet.
A bed sheet, yours or Nikita's.
Oh, Nikita's.
Okay.
Talia doesn't know the difference.
Yeah. And then
And
as soon as I'm pretty sure I'm not going to leave food on the door handles and stuff, I'll start heading down. Should we go right to the basement, or should I actually feed the bunny? I think real quick.
animals tend to need to eat more than once a day.
This is true. Yeah, I better feed him. Okay.
Okay, give me a sleight of hand check there, Reed, because if you remember, your bunny is in Eldred's room.
Right. Oh, I get
You
to
can't
reroll
get
it.
that lock open. The door,
Wait,
it's
I'm a
locked.
halfling. I'm a halfling.
Okay, go again.
15.
Okay, it takes a little while, but you do it.
All right.
You open the door, and Talia, what you see is this like electric orange bunny with bright yellow and bright neon pink stripes, sitting up on its rear hindquarters, sitting straight up, looking at the doorway as it opens. And this is a huge freaking bunny. It's about the size of a fully grown raccoon at this point.
And you said this came from where?
Butt Trumpet made it. Butt Trumpet made a
Staying
whole bunch of these.
outside of
bunnies.
the room. She's
Okay.
just staying outside, like she's not crossing the thresh at any point.
Talia, give me a perception check.
Oh god.
I just plan on stepping in and putting the pastry in front of it.
Okay. All right. So you put you put pastry in front of it, and then you go
Mhm.
back out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no.
Now, next, what do you do?
We should probably try and sneak downstairs in case somebody's here.
Okay.
And so
Alright,
we'll
try to
we'll
move
sneaky sneak.
quietly.
Okay.
Make sure the door is closed behind us.
Okay.
I think we
So
need
you
to
know,
have-
Talia, I roll stealth for people because if you know that you failed, usually then you stop trying. So this is the one roll that I actually roll for people.
Oh, okay.
So
Quick question: when we left the mayor's house, did we get our stuff back?
yeah, if you wanted to get your stuff
Yeah,
as you
okay.
left, yeah, no
Yeah.
problem at all.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's make it sure.
Guards were like, "You're one of the guests of honor. You're leaving awfully early."
Well, just had to feed my bunny.
Oh. One looks at it and goes, "That's a new one." It worked though, obviously, didn't it? Yeah, I guess so. Okay, and so you
Very hungry bunny.
Yeah, Jesus, the buddy the size of it's bigger than a toddler. It's-
So
notably perturbed by the bunny, but
what perturbs you most are two things. One, when the door opened, the bunny just seemed to took in Reed, but then clocked you and seemed to just have locked eyes on you from that moment until the doors shut. But the other thing that was really like unnatural colors are not something you see in nature. None of the colors of this bunny were natural, and all of them were so bright it was almost like they almost gave off their own light. It was like a glow to it because they were just so bright.
it was unsettling. That rabbit ain't right. But yeah, so making sure that's properly locked back in its room, and we're gonna start sneaking our way downstairs.
Okay, you make it down. You find a set of stairs from the first floor going down.
that in the kitchen or somewhere else?
It's a section behind the bar.
Okay. And it looks like there's
Kind of
nobody in
like
here.
it on the far side of the bar is the kitchen, but kind of across the area from the kitchen and back a little ways, like behind the bar, there's a door that steps going down.
And the door isn't locked.
Oh yeah, it's definitely locked.
Have you ever been down here, Talia?
Definitely not.
What if we find Veronica here? How cool would that be?
I guess it would make your life a little easier, though cool isn't the word I'd use for it.
I will attempt to pick that lock. Sleight of hand is.
Charlie's just keeping her ears open, see if she hears the sounds of anyone other than them around.
Okay, give me a perception check there, Talia.
While he's working.
I'm using sleight of hand to pick a lock.
Okay.
Hey.
Yes.
I don't hear nothing.
Okay.
18.
You get your picks in there. It takes a little bit. It's a pretty simple lock, and it's open like before you even know it. It's like, Talia, you turn your back to listen and like look around, and when you turn back, the door's open.
Oh. All right. Pretty nimble.
I'm very proud of this.
I have the biggest smile on my face.
You should be proud. Clearly skilled. And,
Is there any
we're
light
gonna-
coming out of this?
Nope.
No. Okay. Are there any candles or
Not at the top of the
like-
stairs.
what about like in the dining room? What's used to like the hall in the evening?
There's candles out on tables and such, and there are some lanterns here and there, but they're like attached to the walls.
Okay, they're attached to the walls. Everything's attached to the walls.
The candles are not. There are
Okay,
candles
so
on individual tables and such.
Okay. So can we find and grab and light a couple candles for
Absolutely.
us to carry down with us? So take those with us.
Okay.
Yep.
Start creeping down the steps.
Okay.
Yep. Sneaky,
You
sneaky.
find the steps are particularly squeaky, but and creaky, I mean. You get to the bottom. It's a dry cellar. It's very well organized. There's sections with barrels of things, sections with crates of things, sections that's just large piles of sacks of things, and then there's a section that has nothing but dishware and plates and kitchen items, and it's like a restaurant, storehouse, and market down here. You know, you have an
Alright, so it doesn't look like
open barrel of apples, and
So at first place doesn't look like at first glance doesn't look like anything that should be here or shouldn't be here is.
Did you say wine or no wine?
there are a couple jugs on a shelf that they could be wine, they could be vinegar. You have no idea. There look to be there's a section around the barrels that looks to be all kegs of ale.
Oh, I wish I could fit that in a pocket.
Maybe if you were a giant.
Ooh, giants could carry kegs of ale. That's neat.
All right. Let's just take a look around, feel along the walls, maybe like tip a barrel or two up to see if there's any like hidden doors, hidden trap doors, or anything like that. I guess.
Yeah,
Talia, give me
I
an
do.
investigation check, please.
I help or do it as well, whichever. works.
Okay, with advantage.
Yay. Oof.
You don't find anything.
Sometimes the dice just say no.
Yours, literally.
Sometimes advantage means nothing. All right, I don't see anything. It's way too dark down here, with a couple of
Yeah.
table candles to look by.
Nothing looks extra valuable or anything.
Oh, you would imagine kegs of ale are worth money. You would imagine some of these wheels of cheese are worth money.
Nothing
There's-
though that might be like being smuggled somewhere.
Nothing of Reed smuggleable size.
Well, what sort of things are you looking for that, you know?
Well, something that might not belong in a tavern cellar. You know, like that. Because Gaia said he saw people taking stuff on a
Right.
ship or something.
No,
You know.
everything down here looks like it would be in a tavern, a kitchen, or an inn. There is a section, you know, you find that there's some shelves along the one wall, and then you realize that there's shelves behind it and everything. It's not hidden or anything, it's just the way it's set up. At first you didn't notice it. And the shelves behind it have things like bedding and pillows and, you know, chamber pots and spare things like that. But
Okay.
yeah, no, everything you find here, he is very well stocked. I mean, you would imagine that running an inn probably doesn't afford a lot of extra money, but it's kind of really well stocked here.
Does it seem like almost too much food compared to the number of guests that he would Like, would I be familiar with the amount of foot traffic he tends to get and how much
Right.
food he would need compared to how much he has?
Well,
Especially
what
considering some of these are perishable.
right. The perishable things maybe just a little bit too much, but hardly at all. But like the apples and things like that. The non-perishables is where he really has the abundance. And the alcohol. He has an abundance of ale there. And he also, you see on the wall some bottles of spirits and things like that.
Which isn't that abnormal to have a lot of, since they don't go bad.
Yeah.
Can I look along the floor and stuff? See if there's any extra, like, any more, like, trapdoors or anything that might go down even further or something like that.
Sure, give me an investigation, please.
I'll scoot along the ground with him, see if I can't, since my initial looks along the walls didn't turn up much.
Okay, well, I'm going to say that's going to negate because we've already had the two of you look once. So the next time
Fair.
it gets a little more difficult.
Okay.
So,
Jeez.
yeah, you don't find anything.
Sunny probably has an office where he keeps track of how much he has of food and drink. Maybe there'd be other notes in there somewhere if we can find the office, if it's in this building.
Does that mean you think he'd be missing a bottle of spirits?
I'm going.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, well.
Let's try to leave things as we found it as much as possible, since
Okay.
we are so far one of the only ones that have left the party that are of note.
That's true. Okay. Good idea.
Okay, so what do you
we're
do?
gonna call-
We're gonna head
Leave the
up. Right?
cellar. Yeah, leave the cellar. See if Reed can. Can you relock it with the way you just popped it open?
I think
Does he
I think so.
lock it that way?
Do I gotta do anything special to relock the door?
Just give me another sleight of hand. Because you don't have a key, you have to basically, it's the reverse of picking the lock.
Okay.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Maybe even faster than
Lemon
if he had an
squeezy.
action. If he actually had the action key.
Okay, next.
And then we'll look around real quick and see if there's like an office or something where he might have
Yeah, on the
info.
first or on the main floor, or maybe even the second or third floor if there's a room that might be his.
Okay, the kitchen the door to the kitchen is open. And you can see there appears to be a room at the back of the kitchen.
Okay, that seems like a good place to start.
Mm.
Okay.
All right. And
What
we
position?
see.
It appears to be an office. There's like a filing cabinet, a desk. There's a lot of stuff here. There's like some ledgers on a shelf.
Paperwork.
Let's start with what's on the desk, maybe. Like, what's already? Is there any paperwork or anything already out on top of the desk? Like any works
There's
in
a
progress?
little bin to one side that looks like it's filled with receipts.
Okay. Rough rifling through them, I guess. See if there's anything. I wouldn't know that much though about that. I don't think.
Give me an investigation check, please.
Okay. Anything that stands
I'll
out as a
help-
weird transaction
I'll help
somehow.
if I can.
Okay.
We split the receipt pile in half and are both rifling through them.
Okay.
You want me to roll one too?
Just the one will do. You see that it's receipts for dry goods, receipts for things that you found in the basement, receipts for services. For instance, you got a bill from the person down the street that puts in the horses for him.
Anything about a ship?
You don't see anything about a ship. it all seems to be in line. It's a number of, you see a receipt for Talia and what she brought in and everything, and the value, the estimated value versus what he traded her for it.
Ooh. Did you get ripped off?
That's what I was just about to ask. How has he been dealing fairly with me? Ever get ripped off?
He's definitely not paying you the full value of what you're giving him.
We gonna be renegotiating after this. Okay. Okay, but to investigate, are there any like letters or pieces of mail out that we could see?
The stuff you find that is opened all deals with stuff that similar stuff. I mean, there's a couple. He has a letter from a bard who is saying that, he and his troop are going to be traveling nearby, and that, they would be open to negotiation if Sunny would like them to play at the inn. That they remembered 10 years ago when they came through, how happy he was to have them there, and what a joy it was to stay there and spend time with him and to perform for him and his customers, and how it was a full house. And it was one of the highlights of that tour.
Okay.
This place used to be popular.
Apparently. All right. So then,
Any interesting knickknacks or anything lying around? Nothing else other than paperwork, really?
Letter opener, quill and ink.
If I can look through the drawers of the cabinet thing,
Give me an
just to
investigation.
see if there's anything like
are any of
other than paperwork.
anything a bit less official looking?
Hey,
Yeah,
get to reroll again. Yay. Halfling, go.
Go for halfling. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you don't find anything that's unexpected.
Then what about? Are there any secret doors here?
Not with that. Not with that roll. You don't.
Well, that was for the filing cabinet.
And the desk.
I turned to Talia. I really wanted to find something for Nikita and guys.
Well,
He's so boring. Sunny Day's so boring and miserable. Miserable, boring paperwork. Miserable, boring cellar. Although, he did have spirits and lots of apples, so that's not bad.
this is a bar.
How come we never get apples with our food? I'm going to ask for apples.
I think it's because you're usually requesting meat or bacon specifically.
Oh, yeah. I like apples too, though. I should ask for those.
Can't hurt.
Talia, if you want to do an investigation, you're welcome to. I mean, he's the one who rolled.
Oh,
the
yeah.
floor.
Okay. Oh, let's go with my +0 to investigation. Away. Hey. That's good. That's a good number.
You notice a difference in the color of the wood under the filing cabinet.
Okay, I'm gonna try to start. It's like, hold on. Try scooch the cabinet out of the way. Or is the cabinet a different color?
The cabinet's a different color from the floor, but when you go to scooch, at first it doesn't seem to budge at all, and you know you're strong enough to budge this thing even if it's full. But then you go to lean on it to think, and it kind of slides to the side on a track.
Ooh.
It's like something out of a cartoon. It's like,
You totally Scooby-Dooed it.
And Reed, you see Talia, who is usually so smooth and moves like a wild cat you would see in the woods, all of a sudden just kind of go.
There's no change in expression. She's just accepted that she's going down.
Yeah.
And like as she like starts picking herself, she goes, "This a bit less boring for you?"
Yeah. Was it supposed to do that?
Looks like it. If you do it the right way.
Is it something?
So
is it
like,
something we looks
is
like
it like
we
a
could open?
compartment, or is it like a place, or like a ladder, or?
There is a trap door. No, but it's just a ring, and when you open it, it will lean up against the cabinet, the filing cabinet.
Let's go.
What do we see?
It's a ladder.
All right.
So if we go down there and they come back, are we trapped, or should we? Yeah, we gotta go. Though. We gotta go. Yeah.
If he closes it behind us, then yes. So, do we want to take the chance and have one of us stay to keep watch while the other goes down and investigates, or do we want to have both of us investigate and see if we can find something faster and get up before perhaps the party ends?
Yeah, let's both go.
Talia,
Be aware that
first.
this has all been taking time, so be aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
You go down the ladder.
Our
And,
cleric will
What?
send us a sending. Hopefully, Gaius would send us something. If it's like, hey, the party's wrapping up, everyone's going home. Get the heck out of finish feeding the rabbit.
there you go. You go down and you realize the ladder is probably roughly the same distance down as the stairs that you went down.
Okay.
So we are
And-
in the cellar.
Correct. And if you remember, the stairs went down away from the kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
and this is from the far end of the kitchen. So when you get down there, what you realize was it's like this place has two cellars separated by a wall. So that it looks like there's just one cellar, but there's actually two.
Secret cellar.
Secret cellar.
And when you get down there, what you see is the entire cellar is split in half. Half of it is just racks of kegs of barrels of wine, and the other is just racks upon racks upon racks of bottles of wine. And the bottles are all covered in like a thick layer of dust.
Some well-aged liquor down here. Well-aged wine, rather.
I'm pretty sure Sunny Day told Gaius that he only had that one kind of wine, the elderberry wine.
That's what he's been telling everyone else.
So what's he saying to this wine?
Without touching it, I want to see if I could, because I don't want to disturb the dust layers.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see if I could read a label of one of the wine bottles or anything.
Give me a investigation.
It's dim candlelight, man. It makes it really hard to read. Now the candlelight is so bright and beautiful. It makes it.
It says Chateau de Châtelet.
Chateau de. I don't. That's not whatever the common language around here is.
God bless you. Bacchus bless you.
Yes. Because you type.
It's a wine thing.
Okay. Is there a year printed on it or anything?
Yes, and you can tell that it's a couple hundred years old.
Ooh.
Okay. So something's happening down here. Clearly, Sunny Day knows about it. If he built on top of it, are there any slots missing? Does it look like any of the dust around any of the bottles has been recently disturbed? Like he's been taking anything from here to?
There are some slots that are not filled, but they don't look like they've gained some dust on them. It looks like it's been a while since anyone's really been down here.
So then, that case,
I think we should
quick check for any other exits out of here, and then maybe head on out ourselves.
Yeah, see if this leads anywhere else.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a subterranean network underneath the town, and this is one of the entrance points. Oh,
I was wondering if maybe he had like a passage to get out of the cellars and go
Like to
down
get-
by the docks.
I'd like to take things down to the docks.
Mm-hmm. We'll look around for anything like that if we can.
All right. Yeah, let's take a look around.
Okay. Someone give me an investigation.
I got
Do
it.
it. You have 1 point more in it than I do.
We're so good at this.
We're so incredible. We're amazing.
Yeah.
Ah, I'm helping you, so maybe advantage? It's like we're
Sure.
both looking. You're just
Sure.
rolling for us.
I get advantage. Oh, thank God.
That's
Hey, it's
better.
all better. 14.
That's okay.
14.
You find a secret door.
Ooh.
Oh, there's a secret door.
Ooh, the-
I'm more excited about this than Talia is expressing. Like, Talia's not like, oh.
Can I try to open it?
You certainly can.
Is it a lock check? Or
Does it
is
work? Oh my
Give me
god.
another
three
sleight
ones.
of hand.
That's 3 ones in a row. Dang. Or 3 ones tonight. And another 3.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a 9 though. It's not too bad,
Right.
right?
It's not so much a lock as a weird latching mechanism, but you're able to pop it
Okay.
and open it up, and the door slides to the side, and you see the other cellar.
Ah.
Oh, so that's what we missed. With that terrible investigation of the first cellar.
Okay.
That key. What part of the cellar is it connected to? Like,
This is by where the kitchen implements are.
okie dokie. And like, is the staircase visible from there, or from that spot, or?
You can see the staircase, yeah.
We should probably just shut this and get out of here.
Yeah,
really
we should
starting to
probably
get
shut
nervous.
this up and like think about the implications of this not in here.
So I will shut that door.
Okay.
I'll try to. If we're leaving footprints in the dust, I am going to start shuffling my feet to just kind of erase the size of our footprints, so that
Okay.
you can tell the
find-
dust is disturbed. But I'm trying not to leave any footprints.
Okay, you leave a little bit of some dust in the kitchen once you get up there.
Yeah,
It's just dust.
Fine.
Dust is normal. Dust comes from
a little
places.
yeah. So
Dust. As long
I
as it's
thought
not
it-
like dusty footprints,
yeah.
like when you stepped in mud and they're leaving like indents. They're not leaving footprints, right?
They were, but then he started shuffling.
Okay, okay.
And then after he shuffles like halfway across the room, it's like the vast majority of dust has left his feet.
Awesome. All right, so we are gonna scooch back up the elevator. Alligator. Wait, no, hold on. I know the
The
word.
alligator.
The alligator elevator?
When I was a child, I had issues with the word elevator. Apparently, I used to pronounce it alligator, and and I guess I haven't outgrown it.
Everywhere you go, you're like, let's take the alligator.
Are you taking the alligator up or down?
Up.
Okay, so you're looking for the up alligator. Okay.
Yes, please. The up alligator.
Okay, so
The
you're
peppy
taking the
one.
alligator up to the second floor?
No, back to the first
Well-
floor where we're gonna lock everything back up and put the cabinet back in place.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to make sure we try to cover our tracks.
Oh, you're already up there, so okay,
Oh,
you can
okay.
do that.
Okay. Do we want to see maybe if he has his own room here, like a journal, or does he seem like he doesn't seem like the journaling type, but he also didn't seem like the gossiping type or the swindling type.
No. He did have a lot of paperwork in that office, though.
Yeah, there was, but that was a lot to look through for just us with an unknown amount of time.
Yeah.
And an untrained eye to running a tavern and an inn.
Exactly.
Mm.
Definitely not my forte.
No. Me neither.
right.
I'm more of a
Should we
take
start
stuff
heading
rather than like run a business. I think we should go back out the window and kind of act like,
Yeah,
oh
I think
yeah,
we
we
should start
can't
heading
get in.
back to the party.
Even if we just wander around outside and be like, oh, we're locked out of the inn. We're just waiting to feed.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You are going to go back up through the window to get back
Instead
out.
of through the door. Instead of through a door.
Okay. And then you're going to head back to the party?
I don't think we should because I think it might be ending.
Why don't we
by the
head
time-
down to the why don't we just like either
You wanna
hang
head-
out here or head down to the docks, see if there's anything, I don't know,
Yeah, I like that idea. Because they did.
anything
We
happening
did
at
hear
the
them.
docks.
Yeah, we did hear them say something might be going down. So.
Okay.
They said they were waiting for something that asking about when they should do it, but they weren't because of the party. I
Okay.
think I might be misremembering information.
Okay, so we'll say that you get out safely, and being that both of you are very dexterous, that you get out the window and you are down by the docks. Reed and Talia, you are both hanging at that location, right?
Yes.
I think we should try and stay hidden now, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. No more. Nikita and Gaius, you've spent your time going around questioning people. It's getting rather late. You see Eldred over stuffing his face, mostly drinking punch.
Oh wow. He's here to party.
There you go. Well, it is a party.
He
Is
came
there
to get down.
So Gaius and Nikita, do you then get back together? What do you want to do then?
I'd say collect the
Oh.
rest of the group.
Okay.
Party, right?
Reed and
Yeah.
Talia are gone. You haven't seen them since they left.
They're on the mission. Yes.
Okay.
Feeding the rabbit.
So, okay, so the plan is then just to kind of finish out the party and then head home.
I
Sounds
think
good.
so, yeah.
We'll say that the party kind of wraps up. Everyone gets their stuff. Everyone who leaves is given a kind of a little. All of you are given like little plates, wrapped up plates of food to take with you.
Oh, okay.
Some
I was
like
about to say, are we getting swag?
you're getting like you're getting kind of I forget what they're called, but like people have made you plates of the
Yeah.
food and some desserts to take with you.
Doggy bags.
Kind of, yeah.
Guy's got a 6 slap bracelet.
There you go.
Yeah. Exactly.
Keychain.
I got a beer koozie.
One of the farmers you see gets a jewel encrusted scythe. You got a beer cozy. Everyone's walking out.
All's fair. All's equal.
Yeah. Reed or Talia, give me a perception check, please.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
A lot of
you,
those tonight.
you and Reed were kind of hiding behind some crates for a while, like over an hour or so, maybe even 2 hours.
We were committed to the stakeout mission.
Right.
Reed still has some leftover pastries to hold us over while we watch.
When you
Even more snacks.
up the hill on the road, you see Gaius, Nikita, and Eldred, and Butt Trumpet,
And Butt
I guess, also. Butt Trumpet is asleep in Nikita's arms.
Yeah.
They danced the night away.
Kind of walking, and you notice Eldred staggering a little bit. And they all seem to be carrying some stuff. But you see them up at the top of the hill.
I think we're not. I don't think we're finding much out anymore. Do we want to call it here?
Okay, so
Yeah. We'll
do
meet up with
you
them.
guys go up to see Eldred and Gaius and
Yeah, we're
Nikita?
going to meet up with the party.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I'd like to say is that it's late in the night. It's like the party broke up late.
Yeah.
You guys got together late. So I think the wise thing would be to go head back to the inn, go to bed, and maybe you could have your discussions over breakfast. How's that sound?
Sure.
Yes.
Sounds good.
So
Nikita
we'll
would like to keep one eye open for naked men sitting on Reed.
Okay.
And I would
Maybe
like to
prop
make
a
sure the
stick
window is
so it
locked.
doesn't.
Okay.
Yes.
So we'll pick
that
up
window.
there next week.
Sorry about the pastries in your bed, Nikita.
Oh yeah, Nikita, we'll
white
deal.
boy
We'll
crumbs.
deal with that. But
And cut away, quick, cut away.
Nikita, you know what? Nikita, give me a quick perception check, please.
Reed?
I cast
Do you see
disadvantage.
the sugar smears on your bed?
You don't see anything there, Nikita.
Nope. Looks normal to
Don't worry
you.
about it.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you for staying as late as you did. This is quite a night we've had pre-Labor Day Forest Grove Barbecue Fest. Tune in next week, same Grognard time, same Grognard channel, to determine, to find out, when the group starts sharing ideas and what they found, what actually they come up with and what their next step is. They've still got a lot to do. And who knows what could happen. But until that time comes, the world has gone mad. Things are getting very scary at times. There's a lot of violence, a lot of dishonesty, a lot of greed, a lot of bad stuff in the world. And while we can't necessarily change that stuff overnight, we can start by doing one thing, and that's with each and every one of us. Just be kind.
Come and talk to me. I think you're cute. Don't mind that I'm 23. Come on back to the store. We have new bases.